Everybody want dance, one tango. Making hits out of a band, make a movie fandango. I don't think you wanna dance. I could take a man's ankles, thunderstorm then bam. We just turn it to a rainbow. Everything getting a little different, that's the main difference. Keep the main thing the main thing. We don't never put no change in it. Yo, coach, I need playing minutes. Bench cool, I'm entertaining it. Just now where I'm aiming it. Get to work, man, I'm laying in it. Everybody want dance, one tango. Making hits out of a band, make a movie fandango. I don't think you wanna dance. I could take a man's ankles, thunderstorm then bam. We just turn it to a rainbow. Lift off TikTok, not the app, but the wristwatch. Big dogs get dogged up the tip off. Google Maps on your phone, how you get lost. One cross, then I'm gone, tear the rim off. Boy, play Beethoven, try and find out what you're worth like a blank token. Do a couple things, do the same motions. Then you're backboard like the bank's open. Coach getting bored cause you can't coach him. Give more, yeah, that's a dang slogan. Shots wet, no tools like H. Odin. Water drip, drip, but the vein frozen. Kid don't miss, man, the game broken. Gotta foul him cause they can't hold him. So much plastic on your chain, looking like a man trying to save oceans. Dance, one tango. Making hits out of a band, make a movie fandango. I don't think you wanna dance. I could take a man's ankles, thunderstorm then bam. We just turn it to a rainbow. I prefer to keep it humble. Y'all done got me in a mood. They don't follow but they lurk. Yeah, they watch me when I move. If you felt that in your soul, then what I'm talking about is you. It's all in how you view, yeah.
I just want love, I don't need Grammys. I'ma be honest, we getting nasty. Gotta go get it, ain't nothing handed. All of my people, they understand me. We up in the States, up in the States, up in the ante. Know we get ashy, know we get ashy, don't need a Grammy. Oh no, oh yeah, we see what they can see. I keep it simple, ain't nothing fancy. Ain't nothing fancy.
Come this far without label backing. Come this far without faking things. I just do whatever made me happy. Never thought about changing things. Man, this feel like it's ancient practice. I've been making songs forever now. Really think we about to make it happen. Really think they got the message now. Everybody wanna box, don't know one with content. Everybody wanna lie, but it's in the content. I know how to win, get a couple women, treat them like an object. Man, it's obvious XL. Everybody think it's hard, but it's micro soft like XL. Hard to walk when you walking on eggshells. Hard to ball when the ball out on left field. Yeah, anger and misery keeping you company, huh? Is this what you want from me, huh? Another pawn in the game, then suddenly somebody hit on my neck with the puppetry. Luckily, I'ma stay hungry, huh? Eat when I feel like Instagram don't match your real life. Tell me now, what does it feel like when you pull up late, but it's fashion? Ain't even March, but this madness. How you keep it so real, yeah? Like my bad, it's a habit. Throw a dart at the Atlas, yeah. Find out where we go at it. People show up like magic, yeah, yeah.
I just want love, I don't need Grammys. I'ma be honest, we getting nasty. Gotta go get it, ain't nothing handed. All of my people, they understand me. We up in the States, up in the States, up in the ante. Now we get ashy, now we get ashy, don't need a Grammy. Oh no, oh yeah, we see what they can see. I keep it simple, ain't nothing fancy. Ain't nothing fancy.
Hello, check, 1 2 1 2. Happy Wednesday. What's going on, guys? Let's go ahead and get to the live screen. Hello, how you doing? What's going on? As many of you guys know, I am now a TikTok star. Thank you very much. That's me, TikTok Austin. Yeah, So let's go ahead and say hi. Aaron, dude, I had to type in the chat. I just knocked over like 2 bottles. I had to type in the chat because like I started the stream and literally 2 seconds later you were saying who's there. That was pretty cool. So what's up, man? How you doing? John, what's going on? Josh, what's going on? Let's see. Edward, how you doing, man? What's going on? Sup? Crazy Kangaroo, hey, crypto creatures, what's going on, man? Did you enjoy your 2 hours of sleep last night? I sure did. No, I got some good sleep. I went to bed at 6 p.m. yesterday, woke up at 2 a.m. I filmed a couple TikToks. I built up an entire list, so we can go through that list today live if you guys want me to. I'll talk about the major ones I think are good players, but if you guys want me to go ahead and switch over to some of the smaller cap coins. But yeah, and then I took a little bit of a nap. I'm going to get the rest of that list done today and out by tonight. I figured I'd give it a little bit of buffer period on that TikTok. If you guys want to, if you guys haven't looked at my TikTok yet, I posted it on the little channel update thing and also in the Telegram. I thought it was a cool way to keep you guys updated in like less than a minute on most coins. And that way it's just easy to digest. So if you guys, aren't able to check out the live stream, hopefully you guys can check out the TikTok and then get your information in a minute. I do ask you guys though, if you guys do go to the TikTok, can you guys leave a like and a comment? It's usually not something that I asked for like that, but with TikTok, those small things do add up with the algorithm. So I would really, really appreciate that. Ernesto, good morning, man. How you doing? Yeah, I actually like these earlier live streams. Obviously, it works out for a lot of you as well that are overseas. So, I mean, as long as my schedule kind of sticks around like this weird like AM where I'm waking up, I'll probably be streaming around 12. Maybe once I'm a little bit later in the day, waking up around maybe like 6 or 7, I might switch it to maybe like 2 p.m., which is kind of like a good in-between between the 6 o'clock that I usually do and then the 12 o'clock right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Jason, how you doing, man? What's going on? You want me to check out RVN? We can check out RVN in a little bit. Aaron, what's up, man? How you doing? You said that's what being bored at work does. No, I've been there. Dude, I was just thinking today, like it feels like us being in this descending triangle was literally yesterday. That's pretty much when I started the channel. I think I started it, somewhere around the middle of this descending triangle. And yeah, that's fond memories. And we've come so far. It's ridiculous. But yeah, man. So Bitcoin, yesterday we did try to at least put in a new all-time high. We did fail, unfortunately. But I don't see that as unfortunate. I do think it's not quite time, in my opinion. I would not like a new all-time high just yet. I do want some of the other altcoins to catch up. So right now, it's not really a good time to be inserting your capital or entering any longs on Bitcoin. If we did happen to get past 19,650, that could be a good potential for like a long-term swing trade or a short-term scalp trade. Let's go ahead and check out what the 1.618 of the next potential resistance could be. All right, so that's the 1.618 right there, pretty much the all-time high. So we should be looking at about the 2.618. That's about 29,000. So we'll call it $30,000 even. That's the next major resistance according to the trend Fibonacci. But obviously we'll see how those kind of develop in real time. Obviously that's just kind of an estimate. But it makes sense. Psychological resistance of $30,000 looks pretty good in my eyes. That could be a good place to take profits and kind of just gauge it on the way up. I mean, if you want like a real trend, I guess we could go all the way back to here, but we'll save that for another day. All right, so let's move on to some of the more exciting coins. Bitcoin's gonna be on the back burner for a little bit. It's one of the coins, obviously I'm gonna be holding Bitcoin, but it's not what I'm really looking forward to in terms of making the type of money that I want to make off of this bull run. In particular, I'm looking for things like Ethereum, Ethereum 2.0 coming out in about a week. That's going to be a massive explosion in price. And if you guys were unfortunate enough to have yourself wicked out on that gigantic wick to the downside on Bybit, they do reimburse you. You just have to contact support and kind of have the proof that it was kind of unfair. I don't know if they fully reimburse you or if it's just partial, but it's worth checking out if you guys did get, unfortunately, dogged on by that. Now, obviously, I'm going to play tough parent here. You shouldn't have been wicked out, all right? That's the God's honest truth. You should have not been wicked out. This is not the time to be scalp trading on the 5-minute or even the 2-hour to 4-hour. right now with these massive breakouts, you're looking for macro support and resistance. And I try to outline this in the chat today in the Telegram. The last major rejection was at $460. That should have been the last place you probably would have taken a trade. You would have had your stop loss nicely under below, either about 4 to 5%, a little bit of a buffer for an entry above. And then already you would have had, I think, about a 6 or 7 risk reward ratio. Yeah, about a 6. So at the current moment, it would be standing at a 6. Now, when you're playing with these macro supports and resistances, you don't have to go with these itty bitty risks. Now, I'm not saying go balls to the wall and go with 20% of your portfolio per trade, but where like a normal 1 to 2% trade might be done on the 1 hour to 2 hour, you could probably do about 4% maximum on these. Obviously not financial advice, at your own risk. Obviously it's risk for a reason, but you can be a little bit more risky with these because these are major macros. So, with the full expansion here to the next major resistance of about $800 flat, that's about a 13 risk reward ratio. If you were using about 4% risk, you would be adding about 52% ETH to your portfolio. And then on top of that, you have an expansion of 71% in cash. That's nothing to scoff at. Stop trying to be greedy. You would have had your stop loss nicely underneath that solid support. You wouldn't have gotten wicked out today. And maybe, just maybe, you would have gotten some DCAs in. Who knows? So you really have to be careful on these major upswings. I know it seems like it's going to last forever and nothing's going to go wrong, but something always does. Play this smart. Don't screw it up. We are starting to really blast off here, and there might not be that chance to come back and retest some of these supports. So you want to make sure you get these entries, play the smart trades, and hang on to them. That's the long game. All right? Even if you're starting with $10,000, if you play your cards right, you're gonna walk away with at least 100 grand this bull run. So don't get too greedy. And you can always use that 100 grand once we get stuck in ranges in the future, and then hopefully expand it from there. If you are just starting out in trading and you only have a couple $1,000 to $10,000, this is your first bull run. Don't try to aim to make $1 million. Aim to make 100 grand, maybe 200 grand if you're lucky, and then from there, use that as the investment capital along with the new gain knowledge in the future to make sure that you can make that kind of money in the future. So pretty much that was my little spiel, playing hard parent here, even though most of you guys are older than me anyways. But that's pretty much it for Ethereum. Currently standing above the $460 resistance. Now there is a little bit of a minor time frame resistance here at 607. You can see that was a little bit of a local high. Not local high in terms of the long-term trend, but it is a resistance nonetheless. So, I mean, if you wanted to go ahead and take a trade off of that, you could, but I'm not suggesting it. My next possible trade would be a break of above 801, and it's kind of the same exact play from 460 here. You can see over here, if you get a nice entry above that resistance, set your stop loss about 4 to 5% below, give it a little bit of a nice buffer. To the next major resistance, which is the all-time high average, that is also a 14 risk-reward ratio with a cash expansion of 65%, and you're also going to be adding about, 56% to your portfolio. What more could you want? I don't know. So the safest play in my head, my stepfather contacted me today, and he just got his Coinbase set up, and I texted him. I was like, well, finally, I've been asking you to do this for months now. Now that he starts seeing everything going up, he's like, okay, I really can't wait anymore. And he was asking me if I had $1,000, what would I put it into right now? My suggestion was a Litecoin. Litecoin is probably the easiest one right now. We are closer to that macro support, with the next major one being at about $140. I believe that's about a 60% spread between where we're currently at, just about 58%. So, I mean, it's not like the craziest when it comes to, percentages in terms of just price action, but it's good. It's good. And it's a safe entry right now still. Obviously we are about 10% away from that support. So obviously, if we did head back down there, it would kind of look a little bit wrecked on your portfolio. Obviously, if you have a calloused trading mentality, you're not going to even scoff at that. And if you understand that $82 is your support, as long as we don't cross below there majorly, you're fine. But that's its entry to a mainline support that we have at the current moment. After we get past $140, the next major one would be the all-time high average of $354. I'm looking at Litecoin as one of my potential long-term holds. I think it's safe to hold on to. It's one of the major coins. I do think it will play well, and my estimate would probably be around $2,000 to $3,000. Now, there is a lot of professional traders, well, analysts, my bad. I don't think they're, especially traders, but calling for like $300,000 on Bitcoin. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and promote to you that Bitcoin's going to go to $300,000. But if Bitcoin did happen to go to $300,000, we could probably see somewhere around $4,000 to $6,000 on Litecoin. Just my guess. Obviously, who knows? But I would love to see that. I do think that this is one of those major players. So it's a good safe entry. We just broke out of a macro capitulation. So right now, there's no better time. So let's go ahead and move on to XRP. Everybody's losing their mind about XRP. I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, it's just gains. I don't know. I'm kind of salty. I did get into a couple of these trades on XRP, but I just don't like it. Obviously, I like the money that comes along with it, but I just don't like the coin. All right, so the next major resistance is going to be about 90 cents. We are tapping off of a little bit of a minor time frame resistance here at about 70 cents. So, if anything, please just wait for a moment. Don't get too antsy on XRP. I know everybody wants to get an entry on it because, there's people talking about it going to $30. But I'll be the first one to say just be safe, all right? The 90 cents the 90 cent macro, that is actually one of your better plays. If you can go ahead and get an entry slightly above it, and then go ahead and get a nice stop loss below, maybe about 10% on this, and then carry it up to the next major, that is almost a 20 risk reward ratio. You'll be adding about 80% XRP to your portfolio, and on top of that, the spread between these two major resistances is 200%. Can you just wait a tad bit longer for 200%? Now, if we do happen to go back down to 58 cents, we did get a nice bounce off of it the other day on the smaller time frames, even a little bit of a double bottom here. Now, with this being a 2 rejection play, I would say you could probably take a smaller time frame trade off of this. It wouldn't probably hurt. Obviously, on the 30-minute, it looks a little bit better. So, obviously, do I recommend this? Not at the moment, but there is that possibility. Go ahead and get a nice buffer, and then comes out to about almost a 5, 4.38, so rounded down 4. And that's kind of the minimum I would be looking for on any short-term time frame trade. So that's pretty good. And then just take profits there and then enter your macro long. Not financial advice, just a 20-year-old kid on the internet. But pretty good what I do. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some of these other altcoins. I'm going to flash I'm not going to flash you guys. I'm going to flash this sheet up here. This is the coins that we looked at today on TikTok. The ones that are highlighted, those are the ones that already got videos done. So some of the major ones that we should be looking at is CVC, Dash, and DNT. Obviously, Dash is the more trustable one. I don't know much about DNT and CVC. I only did technical analysis on it. I don't know the fundamentals of the coin, but from what I've seen, there is the potential for an 800% spread on CVC, as well as a possible 681% spread on DNT. So we'll cover those in just a second. First, we're going to go ahead and cover Dash because that's the one I trust most. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And let's see if we got any new messages. I think we're all going to be making money this run. I feel like we should talk about taxes. Taxes are pretty easy. All right, so if you're doing most of your trading on Coinbase, especially if you're just doing a lot of buying and holding, really all you got to do is go to the tax section. There's an export file. You drag and drop that into TurboTax, and it just tells you how much you owe. Last year, I didn't really owe too much comparative to what I cashed out. I felt like I got away fairly. Not got away. I feel like I paid my fair share, and it wasn't too much. So I mean, taxes are pretty easy when it comes to crypto. That's the beauty of doing everything digitally. James Weber, yes, Kite. Thanks, man. Peruvian Gold, yay. This is your great streaming earlier. Works great for myself and Bitbird too. Awesome, guys. I appreciate you very much. I'm glad I could be of service and do it a little bit earlier as well. It works out for me. Works out for you. Might as well. Switches back to the daily real quick, just so if you guys want to catch up and look at some of these major resistances, I'll leave these up on the screen for a hot minute while we're going through the messages. Dude, I've been conditioned to talk so fast because of TikTok, because there's a 1 minute time frame on the videos. So like I just have to get all of my TA done in a minute. So if I'm going too fast, just tell me to slow down. You know, I talk fast anyways, but hopefully you guys can keep up. Hey Kite, what do you think about entering a scalp trade on BTC? I see an inverse head and shoulders on the 30-minute. We can check that out. I see what you mean. All right, but this is where you might get tunnel vision. Okay. Yes. Is there a possibility for the inverse head and shoulders? I can see what you see right here. All right. And I'm not saying that's not going to work out, but we are pretty damn close to that macro resistance. All right. Unless you're playing like the 1 minute time frame and you can get like a 0.5% stop loss, which I don't really recommend at the current moment. Anything can happen. You're really not going to have a good risk reward ratio. You're better off just waiting for this macro resistance to break. And then anyways, this is actually, to me, I'm not looking at the smaller pattern here. I'm looking at the larger pattern. In the larger pattern, you have a double top with the horizontal support here, with the target being here. All right, with the possibility of it even going back down to 17,854. So, I mean, if anything, I wouldn't be looking to enter. If you are going to try to do this, obviously, I don't recommend it. It's just not something I would be looking to do. I wouldn't enter here. I would probably wait to see if we get a double bottom off of 18,744. But if we do happen to break through that, we're probably going to fall down to 18,274. All right, so hopefully I explained it and kind of gave you my perspective on why I don't think that's the best idea. But obviously, you know, try it out. As long as you got a good risk reward setup and you're being, you know, a little bit easy on yourself with risk, wouldn't hurt. Just experience. All right. My money is on the break of all-time high rather than a retracement like a lot of people are expecting. Yeah, I mean, that seems reasonable. But, like, for me, it just doesn't make sense. Obviously, do I think it's a possibility? Absolutely. And, you know, support and resistance comes first. Obviously, indicators come second. But, as it currently stands, we do have a bearishly diverging RSI since the 29th of October. So, I don't really know. Oh, thank you very much for the donation, man. I appreciate that. With love from India. Thank you very much, man. I can't pronounce your name, but thank you very much. Let's see. But yeah, like I said, inverse head and shoulders, that's not a good play. But the bearishly diverging RSI just kind of, it gives me a little bit to be wary of. That's all. Once we break that all-time high, then I'll probably be saying, all right, screw the bearish divergence. Support and resistance comes first. I'll probably enter like a 2x long and kind of just hold on to it. With the way funding rates are looking, not that good to be holding long-term trades. But with some of these other altcoins, with the massive potential, the funding rate's not going to eat up your profits all that too much. But with Bitcoin and all that, it's a question of whether you want to get yourself into that. Because I think we peaked the other day at 0.2% funding rate. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I've not seen that. When's the last time we saw a 0.2% funding rate? I think we had a negative 0.2% funding rate when we had the coronavirus crash. And then we started pumping again after that. So I don't know. That wick was still about $20 bucks from my entry. Dang, man. I see 250K being an ideal top. That makes sense. Like I said, I'm looking for anywhere around $150,000. But I think the stock to flow. Let me see. I was looking at 3090s to buy. That's one thing that sucks. Whenever a new graphics card comes out, they always have paper launches, and you can't get them. I remember when I want my 1080 Ti. So I've gotten a 1080 Ti, the 2080 Ti, and then I'm trying to get the 2090, the 3090. I remember I traded a $600 graphics card plus $1,000 to this guy on Craigslist to get a 1080 Ti. God, these cards are ridiculous. Let's see. What's the stock to flow? Yeah, stock to flow is sitting around $100,000, but we usually do kind of come up and peak and then come back down. So, let's see. Yeah, it's looking for anywhere. That's why I say like $150,000 is probably where I'll be aiming. It's kind of like that peak above the stock to flow, and it would come back down shortly after and kind of assimilate to the line. Dude, but I'll tell you what, when I went to go get that 1080 Ti off the guy on Craigslist, this is when I was 17. So I wasn't really, I had made a whole bunch of money off of crypto in that bull market. So obviously I had money to spend. So I just kind of spent it willy-nilly. I didn't really trade or really think about my future in that way. So I just went on Craigslist. I bought this dude's 1080 Ti. And when I went to his house, all right, this person is like subconsciously, this is probably the person that got me into trading. Because when I went to his house, he brought me inside. And usually when you do like a deal on Craigslist, like you either do it like in the driveway or like kind of just in their living room. But he took me down into his basement. This dude had a full steel door with a code lock on it. And then we stepped into another room and it's an airlock. And then he has another steel door that takes me into the actual room. So he has two doors blocking his main room. This man had probably like 16 monitors with a bunch of charts on them. He had like 10 computers with like top of the line specs. This man was living the dream. And the scary part was this man had guns everywhere. And not like neatly hung up on the wall or anything like that. Just sitting on counters. And he was like, you sit right here. And he went up and he cleaned up all the guns and put them into another room. And then we did the deal. And then I walked out. And I was like, I am never doing this again. That was the scariest moment of my life. So enough about my weird Craigslist deals. Let's go ahead and get back to talking about crypto. You can call me Serini? Serini? I think it's Serini. But thank you, man. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. And you said, hello from India. What do you think about ETH 2.0 price prediction? I haven't really looked into, can anybody tell me, is it going to be a separate coin, kind of like how Ethereum Classic got separated from Ethereum? Or is it just like an Ethereum 2.0 network, kind of like the Lightning Network, and it's all still going to be on the same coin? If anything, I mean, obviously we just go off if it's still the same coin. I do think it's going to follow the same supports and resistances. You should follow that as your trade line, but that will kind of drastically change because I'm looking for around $20,000 to $30,000 on the next bull run for Ethereum. But if Ethereum 2.0 does happen to really improve the network, we probably could be looking at around $50,000. Who knows? Did alt season start? Your suggestions, please. So we talked about that a little bit earlier. My first suggestion would be Litecoin. Just because we are close enough to one of the macro supports where it's a good safe entry and we're not going to really fall back too much. And then the next major resistance is at about $140, which is about 60% away. So, I mean, obviously that's not crazy gains. It's not Lambo money, but it's a good start and it's a good safe entry. And obviously if you hold from here, you know, just kind of hold long term. That's 300% to the all-time high. And with my price prediction of about $2,000 to $3,000, let's say it lands somewhere smack dab in the middle. Let's say 2,500. That's about 26x, well 27x. So you throw in $100, you come away with 2,800. So I mean, it's a good coin. Litecoin's trustworthy, and obviously Ethereum. That's a given. Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's a two. I would say Bitcoin's the daddy, and then Ethereum's the mommy of crypto. They work hand in hand. They love each other, but sometimes they fight over who's the best. And then obviously XRP. XRP, you just want to wait until we get past 90 cents. That would be a good safe entry. And then we have a 200% spread to the next major resistance of $2.81. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Dash. I've been delaying this way too long. I'm sorry, guys. Did I do it on the Coinbase chart? I think I might have did on. I think I did it on the Kraken chart. Yeah, Kraken. All right, so right now is not really the best time to get into Dash, but you can see that we have broken a, let's see, that was about a year and a half, 2 years, about 2 years of a downtrend. We just broke that with the first major resistance being broken at about $98. If you guys do want to get in early, I would say a break of about $134 would be the first major resistance to go ahead and get into that. So probably be looking for an entry around 140. With the last major resistance before a gigantic spread is $178. So try to get your money inserted around 140 to 178, and you should be good. Next major resistance is at 526, but I highly doubt that's going to be much of a resistance. Obviously, we might stand there for like maybe a week or two, but I don't think it's going to be turning us around all the way back down to 178. So from 178 to 526, that is also a 200% spread like XRP. But more importantly, if you go ahead and get these holds, let's say you do insert the majority of your capital at 134 or 140 to the all-time high, that is 947%. That's nothing to scoff at. And with like major countries, well, not major, I don't want to say that. That's kind of offensive to not call Argentina and Venezuela a major country. I'm sorry. But with countries getting into Dash and using them primarily, I do think it will be one of those major players. And obviously, I don't have a price prediction for Dash, but obviously once we get past 1,404, sky's the limit. And I mean, with already, just based off of the supports and resistances from previous price action, having a 900% gain, that's nothing to scoff at. So, I mean, even if we can get up to like, I don't know, $3,000, that's also the same kind of concept as Litecoin with about 25, 26x. So, I mean, that's another coin I would be looking to get into. And then coming up here next, this is my little thing. So if you guys want to take like a screenshot of this or just kind of pause the video, like I said, if you guys want to go check out my TikTok, it's at Austin Kite, and then Austin spelled AUSTON. I do small little 1-minute clips of all these coins. The ones that are highlighted, I've already done them, and I have to get to the rest of these today. I just kind of did the major ones first. So let's go ahead and talk about Civic. We'll talk about Civic. Let's go to CVC. And I think I also did this one on Kraken as well. Or maybe hit BTC. Which one did I do this on? There we go. Okay. All right, so this one, we're probably going to have to wait a little bit longer. The next major resistance is sitting about 15.1 cents. And then I probably am expecting us to go back down to 4.1 cents in our future, because we have what would I assume to be the start of an inverse head and shoulder. You can see the left shoulder resistance is at 9.3 cents. And then it has the left shoulder support at 4.1 cents when they came down here. So it makes sense for us to go back down to that level and kind of form the full pattern. So that way, once we break out above this resistance once again, that would put our target at about $1.42. But just in case we don't happen to do that, look for a buy probably around 16.3, 17 cents, somewhere in that region, because the next major resistance from 15.1, the spread is about 800%. And that could probably happen pretty quickly. So that's another coin to watch out for. Obviously, this is the type of altcoin where I don't really have entirely a lot of information on it, but technical analysis backs it up. And you can see a very long downtrend has been broken, so an uptrend should be forming. And we can see we already got the makings of one. And then let's see, what was the next one? I think DNT. DNT was one of the major ones. I think I also did this one on Kraken. Maybe not. What did I do it on? There we go. All right, so actually DNT does have a pretty good entry right now, not gonna lie. As long as this 4.6 cent resistance continues to hold, you can see we're currently at 5.5 cents, so not that too far off. The next major resistance would be sitting at about 12 cents, so already from where we're currently sitting, that is a 125% spread to the next major resistance. So right now is actually a pretty good time to get into it. Obviously not financial advice. Do I really know a whole lot about DNT? No, but the technical analysis is there. But more importantly, to the major all-time high, or what I could assume to be so, of 38.5 cents, that's a spread from where we're currently sitting of about 622%. Not too bad, not too shabby. Now, we're probably going to have to get a better rejection somewhere. We do have this diagonal. So who's to say that we don't break back down below 4.6 cents and then come back down to retest this diagonal and then eventually get all the way up to 12 cents and then much further past that. Who knows? But when it comes to horizontals, right now is technically a good time to buy. RVN, we'll check out RVN. Don't know which one has the most price action, so we'll just have to kind of check these out one by one just to make sure we get the most up-to-date. Is it a relatively new coin, or has it had like a couple years of price action? That's good enough. All right, so next major resistance would be at about 2.5 cents. And then after that, we should be seeing about 3.8 cents. At the moment, all right, we are sitting at a resistance. Typically on these breakouts, and we don't technically have a breakout yet, we are still technically under the macro downtrend of RVN. I think this is Ravencoin. I heard a couple guys talking about it on our Discord. So typically when I'm looking for breakouts and resistances for us to test, I'm looking for local highs of trends. But unfortunately, the way this is kind of working out, we just have to kind of say that our first major resistance, and I'll type these out for you guys, because I know these can be hard to see just because of the stream quality and all that good stuff. So I want to be able to make sure that I am able to get the most out of this. 1.6 cent. And then we have 2.6 cent. And 3.88. So we'll just call it 3.9 cent. All right, so these are your major supports and resistances. So if we do happen to break above 1.6 cents, it could be a possible entry. But I wouldn't, if it was me personally, all right, I would probably just wait, because until you are actually past this macro diagonal, it's iffy, because you can get past 1.6 cents and then get rejected here and then just continue this downtrend. What would probably be the best thing is if like we continue to go sideways for a good couple months and then hopefully break out sometime around March. That way, when we break this horizontal of 1.6 cents, we also break that diagonal. That way you can get the best entry possible with the best confirmation of an uptrend actually starting. But yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that. Obviously, it looks pretty good. If that does come to fruition and you are able to get an entry somewhere around here in April to March, to the next major resistance, that's 124%. Not too shabby. Obviously, if anything, you're just waiting for this downtrend to break. I wouldn't enter until then. Let's see. Oh, I did do TA on Zcash today. Let's go and check that out. Did I do it on Bittrex? Thought I did it on Coinbase.
Checking in, you ain't checking in. You saw how well I was doing and you wanted it. And I know those eyes, I could see them from a mile away.
Which one did I do it on?
Blame you, you just hungry, ain't chill. Room full of entertainers. I have it, they pain us. Ain't got much to say.
Maybe it's because I'm looking up Zcash. ZEC. That's not the right one. There we go. Awesome. All right, so right now we do currently have a target of $97. You can see right here we have just broken past a major resistance of $73.23, with the next major resistance being at about $113. So currently that is a spread from those two major resistances of about 50%. Not too shabby. Now, we probably want to head back down there and retest that horizontal. But if anything, I mean, we have a textbook double bottom. We have arm, double bottom. And then now we have broken above the horizontal from the double bottom and going to retest the top of this arm. And I'm pretty sure the wicks got up to that 113 resistance, if not pretty close. Yeah, pretty close. About 10, 20 bucks off. Let's see if the 1.618 lines up with that 170. Look at that! I love when stuff just lines up perfectly. So the 1.618 lines up with the $170 resistance. Actually, you know what? I think it's because when I did this earlier, I didn't have a resistance past 113, so I wanted to kind of predict it. So I just did. Okay, I'm stupid. I'm sorry. But 1.618 is at $170. But once we get past 113, it should be good. I know there is price action past 113, though. So let me see if I can find... Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and see if we can do it on here as well. So, yeah, 113 is where you would really want to insert your capital. Reason why is actually because we have a inverse head and shoulders on the daily chart with the resistance of the left shoulder at 113. After that, our next target would actually be $721. So if you can get an entry at 116, your spread is 511%. I should have done this earlier. Did I already do Zcash? No, we're changing this. 500%. With, what was it? $710. And then we'll change this to 113. Awesome. More good news for people on TikTok. But yeah, that's Zcash. That's actually pretty good. I do like Zcash. I know when it comes to privacy coins, I definitely prefer Monero just because of the adoption of it. But Zcash is good. I remember I made a whole lot of money off of Zcash back in 2016, 2017 with the whole Bitcoin private debacle, which ended up Bitcoin private just crashed. But I fortunately made enough money off of it. So I'm pretty sure I bought around $70 is where I bought mine. And then it kind of peaked over here with the Bitcoin private, what's that called? Fork? It's been so long since I've had a proper fork. Yeah, so after I got my Bitcoin private, we sold it off. Obviously, that's kind of what led to this crash in the first place. And then after that, I think Bitcoin private peaked at 125 BTCP. Is it even on here? I don't even think it's on here. That's how bad it did after its peak. But I sold it as soon as the fork happened, so I made a shit ton of money off of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Zcash. It's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and type this in for me later when I have to do the TikTok video on this. 113. And then $721. Now you might be asking yourself, why in the hell am I saying it's just a straight shot from 113 to $721? When I look at these, like a breakout like this, I'm looking for the top of the trend. You can see the downtrend was the top of this to the bottom here, and then this was a separate uptrend. That's why it gets a separate horizontal. And then the bottom of this downtrend ended right here, so that's why it gets its own separate horizontal. So that's why. So in long-term perspective, obviously we do have some resistances in between 113 and $721. Obviously the major one being $357 as well as $177. But in terms of long-term holdings, you kind of want to look at it from this perspective because it kind of gives you a little bit more confidence. And you can obviously turn this into an easy if this then that statement. If $113 holds, $721 will be tested. Simple as that. I think the stock to flow calls for about 280K. Maybe I was looking at the wrong one. Don't know. Shorts. You could try to short the horizontal resistance of the Bitcoin's all-time high. We do have a daily bearish divergence. But with things kind of just blasting off to the upside, I'll probably be waiting for a rejection, double bottom, enter in on that, or the breakout. Pretty much that's it. I just, shorts are a little bit too much right now. Obviously, if you can get a really nice entry on some of these coins and they do happen to stall out, you could probably make a killing off of funding rate. But you know, it's a chance you just gotta take if you're willing to take it. That's all. What coins can take me to Lambo Land? Probably Dash. Yeah. CVC, DNT, those are the biggest gainers that will come up in our future. But obviously, you got coins like Ethereum. Listen, guys, I don't mean to be that asshole, but I was pretty much trying to scream at you guys to get in at the $332 resistance retest. Because I tried to break it into a simple pattern for you guys. We have a double bottom with the horizontal and I broke it down into an if this and that statement. As long as $332 holds, this is your target. So I mean, I have a 3x long open from there, and it is doing really well, even with the funding rate being as crazy as it is. That's a 300% play. All right. So I will be taking profits and then re-entering that 3x long after the break of the all-time high and holding on to it as long as I possibly can. But that was one of the best entries, okay? Even on the daily chart, break down your chart into simple patterns. You can't lose. You can't lose. All right? Even if you were playing this on a smaller time frame, you did have a very nice rejection with a breakout above it. You could have also gotten in there. TikTok. Yeah, listen. All right? I know TikTok sucks. I personally love TikTok. There's a lot of good stuff on there. As long as you choose the right stuff to like, the algorithm does shove some stuff down your throat that's pretty cool. My For You page is funny as hell. But it's me. Despite TikTok, support me. Anyways, like I said, it's an easy way for you guys to digest technical analysis for coins in under a minute. This is what it is. Bro, BAT, weekly. Check out BAT. Oh, we've already done some TA on it. So we have blasted off. So we actually marked out this horizontal. I don't know. We probably marked out the horizontal as it was bottoming out. So next major resistance is at 30.4 cents, with the next one being at about 40 cents. So that's about what, a 33% spread. Not too bad. And it looks like we got a very, very nice, let's see, is this the 1.618 right here? Yes, it is. So after we break out above 40 cents, we should be heading to about 63 cents. Not too bad. So, I mean, probably your best entry point would be the break of 30.4 cents. And up to that 1.618, that's 110%. That's not bad. Are you going to have your own Citadel? Yes. No, I just want, I'm still deciding on a state. It's probably going to be like a good year and a half, 2 years after the bull market where everything is said and done and planned out, where I can really start. I don't know if I'm going to build it completely from the ground up, or if I'm going to have to, or if I'm going to try to buy something and then kind of build around it. But I just want a place, you know, kind of away from a lot of people, where me and my family could either live there or they can come there and spend some time. I want cool shit. I want a dirt track for ATVs and dirt bikes for my nephews. I just want to have a place where my family can call theirs. Like, this is the Kite Green household. I don't know. I just think it's pretty cool that I might have the ability to do that one day. Crypto Boss Andrew, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? $sign supposed to come first. I'm sorry. I don't know. Is that big of a deal? I've always done it that way. Any market cipher vids? Not really. I've kind of done everything I can do. There's not much more to it. The last video, okay, so I really hate that was the last video that I did on market cipher. Let's see. Let's go to my YouTube. I'm pretty sure I have it in like my, I don't know, if you guys go to my channel, I'm pretty sure it's like one of the highlighted videos. Where was it? This one, how to use market cipher smart and effectively. Despite me saying okay after every single sentence like it's a period mark, it's a pretty good video, and it does show you all the basics and more advanced tips of market cipher. That was pretty much it. I don't think any more tutorials is necessary. I mean, it's one of my better performing videos. Obviously, this one so like I was watching my YouTube analytics over the last couple of months, and I was like, where is this money coming from? I only get about 200 to 400 views, and I don't even monetize 90% of my live streams. Why am I getting like $100 here, $100 there? It was all coming from this fib retracements video with 24,000 views. I was like, what the hell? I didn't know. Because last time I checked, I mean, I posted this, I checked it, and it got like 2,000 views in a week, and I was like, that's pretty good. And I moved on. I didn't know it had that many. That's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, let's go back to this. Let's continue. TikTok getting banned in the OZ. Yeah, it's getting banned a lot of places. They're even talking about banning it in the US. I understand why. But, I mean, I feel like a lot of these governments come from a high ground. All right? They're like, TikTok is collecting your information and storing it and using it for advertisements. What the is Google doing then? What is Microsoft doing? What is probably the United States doing? They're collecting all of your information. They're listening to your phones. Like, that's my favorite thing, is like when you're talking about something and you haven't even searched it on Google yet, and your Google is listening to you through your phone, and then you see an advertisement for it later on Amazon. Why is TikTok the worst thing in the world? Everything's doing it. I don't know, man. That kind of pisses me off. There's a lot of funny videos on TikTok, and if I can't have that little bit of happiness, I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm moving. I'm starting my own country with my crypto money like Akon. I'm 30. I think I overaged out of TikTok. No, man. No. TikTok's for everybody. There's grandpas on TikTok. That's a little bit weird, but there's a lot of funny ones too, who actually get humor of millennials. It's a little bit weird. You got an epic entry on ETH, man. Absolutely, man. And it's not like I'm the smartest kid in the world. Like I said, I just broke it down into a simple pattern, and it's an if this and that statement. That's all it was. It's nothing complicated. I'm not using fans of fib retracements and 1,000 different indicators. It was literally just support and resistance. That's all it was, man. Entered at 24 cent Kite City. Entered at 24 cents on XRP. That is awesome. Yeah, the first major resistance that I was looking at was 32 cents. And I did buy some there. But I'm mostly waiting for 90 cents. The reason was, I mean, this is what you're looking for on Ravencoin. Like I said, you want to break the diagonal downtrend as well as that break the first major horizontal. And you did that at the same exact time on XRP. I'm pretty sure that's why we had such an explosive blast off, because it was two major resistances being broken at the same time. That probably signifies to a lot of traders and investors that it's go time. So, I mean, that was at 32 cents. That was your first early entry point. And I mean, we were watching that even all the way back here in August. Which we took profits at it, but then we came back down and retested the horizontal from this double bottom. But yeah, I mean, fantastic. Like I said, don't be sad if you did not get these crazy entries. 90 cents to $2.81 is still 200%. You're still going to make a whole lot of money. And if you just hold on to that 90-cent entry for the remainder of the bull run, who knows? If people are right and we do get to $30, that's a lot of money, bro. $30, that would be 32x your investment. That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. I don't see your lines. You mean the big bold yellow lines? Or are you talking about the thin green line here? Can you see it now? Big Bird, I was not calling you a grandpa. All right. I'm 21. I'm only 9 years behind you. I know I don't look like it. Once I lose some weight, I'll look my age. I'll look stunning. And I can grow out my hair a little bit longer and it doesn't look weird. Oh my God. Let me show you this picture if I still have it. Oh, and for just how much time I put into these TikToks, that's why I think I deserve your guys' views on them. Every single one of these is a separate retake of the same video for just one. Because since I have to talk so fast, sometimes I stumble over my words, and I don't feel like opening up Adobe Premiere and editing a 1-minute video. So I just kind of do a one take. So I have to do it like 40 times in order to get it right. Sometimes I get lucky and I do it in 2 to 3 times, but sometimes I'm sitting here yelling the F word. So that's why on some of my TikToks, I don't have the same like charisma as some of the other ones, because I've already done that TikTok 40 times. And I'm finally like, all right, guys, it's Crypto Kite. And I'm just like done with it. But yeah. What was I showing you guys? Oh, this cringy picture of me when I was a kid. So this was my cover photo for when I did voiceovers on Fiverr. I think I was 17. Look at that. So innocent. Gigantic poofy hair. Bright blue eyes. Weighed about 160, 170. Prime time. I don't see your lines unless you're using your fib lines as SR. What? I don't understand. I don't know what that means. You can only see my lines if they're fib lines. Oh, don't say that. Don't say that looks like a different person. Oh, that makes me feel bad. Am I still pretty? I'm trying to work at it. We're going to be back down to those weights pretty soon. And I'll grow my hair out like that again. Runs to Peruvian crypto laptop to see cringy Kite photo. Let's see. All right, let's see. Let's go check out the list again, see what else we got. We'll try to do these in order of spread. So the next largest one I think is, so we got the Zcash one, we got this one. I'm probably gonna film the Zcash one next for TikTok just because that's really good. Probably Atom. Yeah, Atom's the largest spread. It says 35% to 141%, so there's probably a resistance in the way. We'll check out Atom. All right, so Atom, we have a double bottom. We're Atom. Guys, Atom. Right now is a really good entry. You can get this on Coinbase as well. The reason why I made this list is I know a lot of people can't get onto Binance now because they are forcing US customers off their platform. So I wanted to mainly focus on coins that are on Coinbase. That way everybody can get them. So Atom is tradable on Coinbase. And right now we are breaking past that $6 resistance and we're currently at $6.52. To the next resistance is 35%, so not bad, and there's not really any resistance in the way, so this is probably going to be a straight shot, guys. Now to the next resistance, which is the 1.618, would be about $14.87, and that is the one that is about 140% away. So yeah, I mean, right now if you guys want to pick up some Atom, looks like a good time to do so. Obviously this is on the daily chart, so there is the possible chance that this ends up just being a wick, but possible time to get an entry. Let's see where the wick ended up on the other high over here. Oh no, we already broke through that. That's fine. All right, cool. It was on the same webcam, just I think I might have been like a little bit closer, or I don't think it was better lighting, because I spent $400 on my lighting setup now. So the reason why my lighting might not look the best is because I am so white, guys. All right, so I try to use the white balance. So that's why my hair looks kind of orange instead of blonde, so I can give myself a little bit of skin tone. All right, that's all. You said, where are your SR lines? All right, now I have to go check this. You're freaking me out, man. You're freaking me out. We got to go watch my own stream so I can see if it's true that you can't see these lines. You're lying to me. You're lying. You're lying to me. You can see them right there. I can't believe this. How could you do this? Crown doesn't give beauty tips like this. Eat your heart out, Crown. I'm coming for you with beauty tips. And it also makes it look like I have lipstick on all the time, even though I don't. Just makes my lips look red. That's pretty much it, guys. I mean, there's not much else. I mean, I'm having fun. If you guys are as well, I mean, we kind of just sit here and talk. You know, throw your questions in the chat. If there's any altcoins I haven't covered, that aren't on this list on Coinbase, you can always, you know, message me those. We can check out those. Do I like these earlier live streams? I have energy. I felt like death this morning because, for the first time in a while, I actually went outside and I went to Walgreens and I got melatonin because I have problems sleeping, guys. You guys probably know this. And for the people that do one-on-ones, sometimes I have to cancel a one-on-one because I just didn't get any sleep. It's not because like I intentionally try to stay up or anything like that. It's just the way my mind works. So I went out and got some melatonin. I took 2 of them last night and man, I was out. I was donezo. And then when I woke up, I was so groggy because it's probably still in my system. But hopefully, I'm trying to get to like a normal schedule of about like going to sleep at like 10 o'clock and then waking up around like 5 or 6 in the morning. I usually wake up. I listen to an audiobook for a little bit as I wake up. The audiobook that I'm listening to right now is David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me. I love David Goggins, man. He is so funny. And he has such like a in-your-face way of like talking to you, and like his story is so amazing. And obviously, I know I've suggested other books like The Art of Not Giving a Fuck. If you guys want my audiobook list, I can always give that to you guys. And I go ahead, take a shower, film a couple TikToks, even though I just started doing that. But that seems like a good schedule to me. Productive. And then, you know, once the intermittent fasting, you know, gets me down to a reasonable weight where I'm not going to kill my joints by going for a 3-mile walk, then I'll start doing that. And then we'll hop on live stream probably at 12 o'clock. So as long as we're sticking to this schedule and I can, you know, kind of get to sleep at a regular time, as long as I got melatonin, man, I'll sleep like a light. Yeah, we'll probably be aiming for somewhere around 12 to 1 o'clock every day. I think that'll work for everybody. And I mean, yeah, if I can get a constant sleeping schedule, and really, you know, really start to get more energetic, I will be doing these every day. Even if you know, nothing major has happened in the market, just sitting here talking to you guys is the best thing about this. Matt C, fan from Singapore. How you doing, man? What's going on? Thank you very much, man. Did you just say that to me? I'm gonna go hit my vape, and I just read the chat. Crypto addicted snarf. What the? What? Your skin would be awesome stretched out over a lampshade. All right, cool, man. Cool. That makes me a little bit scared. That's like serial killer stuff, man. You still doing the $100 account? Unfortunately, no. At this time, not really. And we don't have any major ranges. $100 accounts, like those low range accounts, really work well when you're in a ranging mentality. Ranging market. In these kind of bull markets where everything's kind of just blasting off, yes, you can make trades here and there, and you can turn $100 into probably, I would say, $10,000 by the end of the bull run. But I had lofty goals. I was trying to get it up to $250,000 in 6 months, which, if I didn't screw it up, we probably could have gotten there. I got infatuated with the idea of being able to turn $100 into $250,000 in a month, because the way I was going to get there, because we turned $100 into just under $13,000 in like a week and a half. So, I mean, I was like, if I keep it up at this rate, man, I'm going to be there. But I just got way too risky. and I started playing way too small of time frames, because when I first started the account, I was playing the 1 minute to 5 minute, and then I was like, all right, if I get better entries and better stop losses, I'll make even more. And then I went down to like the 30-second and started playing that, and I screwed it up. So it's a learning lesson for everybody. Obviously, I do consider myself at least a competent trader, and even I screwed it up. So I, I love you, Kite. I would never turn you into a lamp. I don't think that was ever a phrase that I would hear said to me in my life at all. That's just weird. Crypto Surfer, what's up, Kite? How you doing, man? What's up? Happy morning, happy night, wherever you're at. Look for foods with naturally high tryptophan. It will help you sleep. I think I've heard that word. It's inadvertently high in Thanksgiving dinner, which is why you get sleepy after lunch. Oh yeah, man. Dude, this Thanksgiving dinner, this Thanksgiving just kind of feels weird. You know, my family's still getting together, but it's not everybody. And so, I mean, it just kind of feels weird. I'm just going to go to my mom's, because my mom, there's a whole debacle. So it's just going to be her and my stepfather for Thanksgiving. So I'm going to go over there, spend some time with her. That way she's not alone. I love her. So I'm just going to go ahead, have a nice Thanksgiving dinner. Do you have any courses you offer? Actually, yes. I don't like to promote it all that often. I don't like to feel like a shill. But in the description, there is the Patreon link. I do have the Telegram separately for $50 a month. And then also, as long, you know, if you want to, you can either go through the Patreon to get to the lessons, which is $500 through Patreon. Now, if you do happen to do that, make sure that after you buy it, you go ahead and cancel it, because I don't want to have a situation where it gets recharged at the first of the month. But if you go through Discord and add me there, Kite hashtag 2136, you can either send me a direct message or add me, and then I don't know if you can message me anywhere else. But you save $50 if you go through there. So it's only $450. That comes with 4 sessions. They usually last about an hour, hour and a half. And then you get the lifetime Telegram where you got all that good stuff. And also you got the Discord. Now, I haven't been as active as I should have been on the Discord the past couple of weeks, or even the past couple of months. I do watch it, but I haven't been in the weekly meetings. But we do have a Discord with many, many good resources, as well as that every Thursday and Saturday we do have a weekly meeting, which I will be attending those from now on. Now that everything's kind of under control with the sleeping schedule, I got the melatonin to help me back that up. I'll be there. Unfortunately, this week it is canceled just because of Thanksgiving, but next week definitely. At the Canary Islands right now? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. I'm not American. Thanksgiving always seems weird, but have a good day anyway. We're thankful for you. I guess from an outside perspective, Thanksgiving is a little bit weird. But if anything, it's just it's an excuse to get with your family that you know, mostly like your extended family that you hardly ever see, and just have a nice day with them. I mean, but like the background of Thanksgiving is a little bit weird. It's supposed to be like a treaty between Native Americans and the Pilgrims, and they had a big dinner together. But in reality, they probably just killed the Native Americans and then made up that story. I would love to think that it's real, though. I would love to think that there's peace in the world. Sammy Smith, hey man, how you doing? Another early live stream? Absolutely, man. As always, I try to serve you guys and make sure you guys get the best. So, I mean, we're here. And we had a lot of good stuff to talk about in this live stream. Usually it's just the 4 major ones, but like I said, man, I just want to go ahead and get this kind of list done. And another plug for my TikTok. If you guys go to TikTok, look up at Austin Kite. Austin spelled AUSTON. You guys can find my TikTok. I go through all the different altcoins and major coins under a minute and tell you all the major macros, all that good stuff. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out, leave likes and follows and comments and stuff like that, I would love you. I love you anyways, but I'll love you just like this much more. Let's see. It's 5 a.m. here in Australia. Damn, man. I mean, I can't say anything. I woke up at 2 a.m. today. So, I mean, I'm right there with you. We celebrate New Year's when you guys celebrate Halloween. How does that work? You guys have a different calendar? I thought everybody had the same calendar, just different time zones. It's okay. I celebrate the Mayan calendar. All right. And the next year is the December 25th. You guys heard that whole thing? So obviously everybody knows about 2012, December 25th, or no, December 21st. How the Mayan calendar was ending and the world was going to end. So supposedly, because of some reasons with the Gregorian calendar, we were 7 days behind per year or something like that. I'm not sure how it worked, but essentially 2020 is the Mayans 2012. So I don't know, maybe we might not see $150,000 crypto. Maybe we're not here on the 22nd. Who knows? Hopefully we are. We'll have like a little stream on the 21st at 12 p.m. and see what happens. You know what movie freaked me out the most recently? So usually like horror movies don't freak me out, but the movie Midsommar, that creeped me out. All right, because I'm no stranger to psychedelics. I've done them before. And the way Midsommar combined psychedelics with like a suspense type horror movie, oh, it was cool. It was cool, but it was scary. It was scary. Just because you can imagine like what those characters are going through. When you did that $100,000 to $13,000 in a week, what strategy / mindset did you have going in? Were you forcing trades or were you just lucky running up? So I'll kind of walk you through exactly what happened in the trades that I made. All right, so let's go back to Bitcoin. And let's we'll start with the 1 hour chart. And then we'll kind of go into like a 5 minute. I don't think we'll be able to get all the way back there on the 5 minute. So I'll kind of just have to estimate. All right, so the first major trade that I made on the $100 account was the break of this horizontal right here. All right, so once we broke that horizontal, I entered a 100x long with $80. So my ideology for the first trade was, okay, we have a big trade in front of us. I need to get the most amount of capital that I possibly can, so that way I can minimize my risk from there on out and then go ahead and continue to grow from there and kind of enhance my timeline. Because the way things were working out, in order to get to my $250,000 goal in 6 months from $100, I think I only had to make like 400% per month, which obviously is a daunting task, but if done properly, you can do it. So I wanted to make sure that I got the most out of the first trade. So I went ahead and I said, all right, if we break this horizontal, the next major local high would be here. So I went ahead, I went with 100x long, and we pretty much made $800, almost $1,000 in our first trade from $100. From there, all right, we took our profits, and I was making sure that I was as patient as I possibly could be. All right, so we did not try to guesstimate the top. All right, that's the major thing. Don't ever try to catch tops or bottoms. Take your profits, let it get rejected, let it get a bounce, and then start trading. From there, you're golden. All right, so these two moves you would absolutely miss out on. The next move that I got into was the double bottom here. All right, so I got into a double bottom here, and I had about maybe like a 1.5%. And then we went ahead, we made that trade. And then right here, we went up to the next local high. We took this breakout trade right here. And then on this little pattern here, I was lucky enough, all right? Usually I just take my profits and let it do what it's going to do. Now, I did do that. I took my profits and then I just kind of chillaxed. But once we came back up here, I knew it was probably going to be a smaller time frame double top. So I took my chances. I think I got in at 10,060. I think that was my entry. I even DCA'd a couple times and we just wrote it down. And then we took our profits here. Now, this is where things got kind of jumbled. All right, by the time we made those 3 trades, I'm pretty sure I was almost at maybe $4,000 or $5,000. And then we kind of screwed up down here. But fortunately enough, I was able to make this trade here with the breakout above this horizontal of this double bottom. And if you guys have ever taken a one-on-one, this is one of the ranges that I highlight extremely on how to play my basic strategies. All right, so we went up and I took my profits up here and that was a good trade. And then we went ahead and took a short from right here. And this was actually pretty cool. I remember this day. I got the very last wick out of this zone. I'm pretty sure I got my entry filled somewhere around here. And then we had our stop loss above the resistance. And we carried it back down. We made that trade right there. And we did very, very well all the way up until around the time that we started capitulating, which really led to some reflection in how I really need to be more patient. And once things start kind of shaping up in a certain way, I should probably stop trying to trade the smaller time frames and wait for a better play. So that was all of the trades that I made for that $100 account in order for me to get to $100 to 10,000, or actually just under 13,000. Now, I'm going to tell the truth. That wasn't with 1 to 2% risk per trade. That was like around 10, 20% risk per trade. Sometimes even with like 50% risk, depending on the supports and resistances that I was playing. So, I mean, that was it. Nah, it's called Midsummer. Well, it does stand for Midsummer, but Midsummer. That's how you spell it. It was a really good movie. I mean, yeah, it was. It was a really good movie. I did like it. 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.1 on IMDb. What's the most trash movie that you guys seen recently? I think the last movie that I saw that I didn't really like, I don't think it was trash. I just didn't really like it just because of how it went, was what's the Adam Sandler movie where he's a jeweler? No. I forgot the name of it. But he's essentially like a jeweler in New York City. He has a consistent gambling problem, and then he ends up, I don't want to spoil it. I kind of already did, but I did not like that movie. It was so aggravating to watch. He made sometimes he got the money that he needed to pay the people back and then screwed it up again. And I was screaming. I was screaming at the television the entire time. I was so angry with that movie. And the entire time, people are just screaming. I know I'm probably not the best because I'm just screaming right now, but like it seems like every single character was just screaming at each other the entire time. It was aggravating. Uncut Gems. Yeah, that movie. And didn't it get... Uncut Gems got what? Uncut Gems got a really good score. Didn't it? Yeah, I got a 92%. I didn't like it. I like Adam Sandler, and I do like he went with a more serious role, because what's the last movie Adam Sandler did? Hubie Halloween. So, I mean, yeah. I did like that he went with a more serious role. I just didn't like the movie. Requiem for a Dream. I haven't heard of that movie, but if that's a trash movie, I guess I don't want to watch it. Did I always limit in? I limited where I could. Obviously, if you have already predefined ranges, such as this, limiting is not a big issue. The only time that I marketed in or marked it out is when I took breakout trades. And if you guys aren't using conditionals, you need to. All right. The only thing that you need to know about conditionals, there is a way to set up a stop loss with conditionals, but typically it's not really worth the hassle. Now, let's say it's the middle of the night and you get a conditional long filled on market. I never do limit conditionals. I always do market conditionals for breakouts. You need to make sure that once it gets triggered, you are there to put in a stop loss. That's the only thing. So make sure you have your alarms on. But the amount of times I've made money off of conditionals because maybe I'm not at the computer or I'm out and about, I mean, it helps. It helps out a lot. Make sure you learn how to use conditionals. Conditionals should only be used for breakouts, though. Mr. Incredible. So much. Invincible. If I trade and exchange coin to coin, do I have to do my taxes or just when I cash them out? You only have to pay your taxes on crypto when you cash them out. That's all. So, I mean, even to USDT, like let's say you make a ludicrous amount of money off of crypto this upcoming bull market. All right, let's say for the majority, all right, let's say you make $100,000. All right, let's say you have the remainder of your mortgage to pay off. All right, you take out $40,000, you pay your taxes on that, and then you put the rest into USDT. So while the market is dropping, you're not losing value, but you also don't have to pay your taxes on that remaining $60,000. And then you reinsert it once we hit a comfortable bottom. As always, when we hit a bottom, it should look like an Adam and Eve. I mean, I don't know how much more simple it can get at this point for people. December 17th, Adam and Eve. That's the only two things you need to know about Bitcoin in order to be successful. Trust me when I say that. Remember, December 17th, all right? If the end of the bull market is in 2022, I guarantee you the top is going to be within 10 days either way of December 17th, if not the same day. But more than likely, we'll probably be like in the middle of the bull market at December 17th, 2021, and then probably complete it 2022. Well, who knows? Maybe not. If we start breaking out right now, like in early January, we probably will end December 17th, 2021. But I discovered my dream wife from that movie, Julia Fox. My God. Are you talking about Uncut Gems? Is that Julia Fox, the one with the dump truck? Or was it Requiem for a Dream? It's like Uncut Gems. It's a really good movie, but you won't want to watch it again. There's a lot of movies like that. What's your guys' favorite movies? What would be my favorite movie? God. I would say, obviously there's like favorite movies from my childhood, but like my favorite movie recently, like the one that I've actually watched probably like 5 times, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That movie was great. I loved everything about that movie. It was funny. It was exciting. It had some emotional contemplation. It dealt with a man coming to terms with the end of his career. I just thought it was a good movie. And then you had the dude that was a badass. And the part where he beat up Bruce Lee had me rolling on the floor. That was so funny. Do you follow polyphasic sleep? Interesting question. I did when I was younger. When I was about 15 to 16, I actually attempted the Uberman cycle for about 2 months, and I was successful at it. Now, it took me about 3 weeks of sleep deprivation to actually get my body to switch into that. But I thought it was really cool, man. And one of the major reasons why you would ever want to attempt the Uberman cycle. Leonardo da Vinci and Nikola Tesla both used the Uberman cycle. And my theory of why they did that is because they were men that were trying to innovate and imagine things constantly. So how do you do that? Nikola Tesla, in one of his interviews, talked about how they were asking him why he didn't have rough drafts of schematics. And obviously there's people that don't believe him. But what he said was he built all of his machines in his dreams until he got them to work and then built them in real life. So if you are using a polyphasic sleep cycle like that, you essentially are able to go into a dream state every 3 hours. And if you become an adept lucid dreamer, that gives you so much more time, because that actually brings I think normally you only get about an hour to 90 minutes. I might be wrong on this, of dream state sleep per night. But when you are doing Uberman, you actually get pretty much a full 2 hours of dream state. And dreams are a little bit weird. All right. So like with DMT, when you take DMT, 15 minutes can feel like 2 weeks. No joke. So dreams are kind of the same thing. So my ideology is maybe like Nikola Tesla would go and take like a 20-minute nap. And for him, it might feel like a day's worth of time where he can work on these machines and then come back and then update them in reality. Just an idea. I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, that's my answer for polyphasic sleep. Is "don't truck" a euphemism? Yeah. You know, like, ooh, that girl got a dump truck. Sorry. Sounds a little bit disgusting when you say it. You know, when you take a shit, you call it a dump. That's what the kids are saying. Have you seen the new Borat movie? Yeah, I did. I thought it was funny. I don't think it was as funny as his old ones. I don't know. Maybe that kind of comedy is kind of gone with the wind. The Rudy Giuliano scene was probably the best out of the entire one. And I know people are like, I like how Joe Rogan explained it. He really broke it down in terms of like, yeah, it did look weird. Like, okay, he's on a bed and he's kind of like leaned back and reaching out his pants. But since Joe Rogan, and I think he was there with Alex Jones, since they're in that kind of business and they had mics strapped to them, he was like, yeah, that's what you would do. I mean, that's the only way you can do it if you're an old man. So I mean, he kind of explained it where it was like he wasn't trying to be weird. It was just the circumstances. And then he runs in the room. He's like, no, she's 15. Take me. It was funny. One of my other favorite scenes from that movie was where he would go back to like the mail place and he would have to fax his superior messages back and forth. He's like, can you please fax this for me? He's like, what do you want it to say? Sup. That was great. I have not seen The Accountant, but I did want to see it. I just kind of forgot about it. Isn't that the one where it's like an accountant, but then he turns into kind of like a mercenary? Correct me if I'm wrong. Happy Gilmore was good. How's the TikTok going, buddy? It's picking up slow. I mean, it's pretty good for just starting the account the other day. Obviously, with like the help of you guys, it kind of got up there. Let's see. Let's go to it right now. Got 29 followers. I know. Charlie D'Amelio over here, 29 followers. The videos that I posted the other day, Bitcoin's got 200 views, and they all kind of got 100 views roughly. But today I've posted Rep, Algo, ZRX, Dash, DNT, CVC. Those are the ones I posted today. And then obviously after this live stream, we're probably going to go do Zcash first, followed by the remainder of those coins. Wolf of Wall Street. I did like Wolf of Wall Street. That was a good movie. I love like the memes where it's like watches Wolf of Wall Street once, and then it like shows him like investing. It's like true, kind of true. Mine is Super Troopers. I watch at least once a year for the past 5 years. It's always good to have movies to come back to. Just kind of root yourself with something. Scary movie. Watch Wolf Creek, Australian movie. I'll check it out. Maybe it's on Netflix. The Man from Earth. That sounds like a pretty cool title. I don't know what it's about though. Do you think if we break through soon that we will see a similar bull run like that one in 2013? No. Okay, so like I was telling you guys, I searched day and night for this representation. But essentially it breaks down how new technologies and what they look like in terms of market cycles. So you have the initial explosion, and then you have the frenzy, which is what we had here, and then you have something called the turning point. The turning point takes significantly longer, but actually has, I think, maybe a little bit less or maybe a little bit more in terms of growth. Now, obviously, it might not be in terms of percentage growth, but I do think it will be a little bit longer of a run-up. I don't think it's going to be as explosive as the 2013. Oh, I can't play that song. I can't play the song. No, stop. Yeah, one of my favorite artists is Riley Ritchie. If you guys don't know him, he is, if you guys watch Game of Thrones or watched Game of Thrones, he's Little Worm. I think that's his name. The Targaryen military dude. He's not Targaryen. What is he? What are they called? Aki? I know that Aki's in the name. I don't know. Grey Worm. That's his name. He's Grey Worm, and he makes music. I love him. But when I played his songs on Monday's live stream, it actually blocked it in different countries because apparently a lot of his songs is copyrighted by Sony Music Entertainment. And so here's the thing. If I'm playing a song on a live stream, I understand it getting blocked if I'm trying to monetize the live stream, because that means I'm trying to make money using someone else's copyrighted material. But the live stream wasn't monetized. I specifically demonetized it so that I could play songs. But no, it still blocked it. I see 25k BTC, then we go down. I would say 30k BTC, and then we go back down to retest. Little Worm. Yeah, small PP. My house is surrounded by DMT cactus. Just haven't tried it yet. Trying DMT is like if you were being, like, let's say someone's trying to convince you to do DMT. If they were being honest with you, they would go, "Hey, you ever wanted to die?" I think primarily the answer people are going to give is no. But yeah, you pretty much die. Yeah, I've gone into it on my previous live streams really in depth, but I don't think it's kind of the right thing to say anymore. Obviously, I think everybody should try it once. Maybe not DMT exactly, but ayahuasca. It's a little bit more easier to get through than just a straight I was watching a documentary on DMT once, and this guy had the perfect definition of it. He said, DMT is like the drive-by shooting of psychedelics. It happens so fast, you don't know what's going on. It's so weird. No, the reason why the vapor is yellow is because of the green screen right here. So, like, it kind of does a weird thing with it. Where can we find videos of you talking about the DMT experience? I don't know the exact one, man. I really don't. Actually, I think I do know the exact one. It's a little bit cringy, though, because I had a different way of talking back then because I was I think, 19 and skinny. And the girls were all over me, so I had a lot of confidence. So I think it was all the way back here. I think it's this one right here. It's towards the end though. That was back when I had a little bit less of a weird setup for lighting. That's my favorite thing. Once I am looking forward to losing the weight, not just because of the energy. I always thought that's the main thing I'm looking for. But I have a lot of like good clothes, like a lot of dress shirts and stuff that I want to be able to wear again. That's all. Tango. It's out of a bang. Oh, just know when that starting soon screen is up and music like this is playing, I am dancing my living heart out. And I have my mic muted so I can sing. Difference? Oh, trust me, man. Psychedelics are a beautiful thing. They really are. They can really help you in life. Unfortunately, so I experimented with psychedelics between the ages of 18 to pretty much when I turned 20. So I haven't really done anything for about a year. And at first, it's the most beautiful thing, being able to get a different perspective and really see different aspects of life. And, you know, not a lot of kids really go through that. But it does send you, maybe it doesn't do this to everybody, but I've read plenty of content on this. John of the Cross talked about something called the dark night of the soul. Essentially, you go through an enlightenment period where you really do feel the light aspect of things, but now you're starting to really have to accept, you know, death and aging and the unknown of what comes after this. Because, you know, if you've done DMT, you might have an inkling of what comes after this, but you really don't know. So it kind of sends you into a deep depression a little bit, an existential crisis. And despite me being 20 years old at the time, I just had this overwhelming feeling of like, life is too short. You know, I don't know how to explain it. It was a very dark time for me. That's all. Risk reward formula calculator link doesn't work. I'll fix that right now. So I think someone said that a while ago, but I just forgot about it. Make sure you guys save it. Don't just go to the link. I gotta go log into my Dropbox real quick and then re-upload the file. And actually, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna show you guys how to use it again, because someone messaged me the other day and was confused on how to use it. So I'm gonna show you guys different ways on how to set it up for particular use cases.
And I try so hard to breathe as this roller coaster kills me. So this goes out to the mind games in my head. You raise hell every night inside of my bed. I don't know where you came from, but I won't play your carnival no more.
Is this the new one I just uploaded?
I wish I was
Okay, so
just
4.
a little stronger, so they couldn't beat me up, but they did. Now I can still feel the most that they kicked at me, pierced my hope. So I dusted off my shoulders and then told myself that I could prove it to them. Just trying to justify the first taste of feeling low. I try to fall asleep, but they won't.
All right, I'm gonna go update the description real quick. Thank you, man, for the donation. I really do appreciate that. That's the first donation on YouTube itself in quite a while. I'm not trying to say that to be like, hey guys, donate. I just think it's pretty cool, man. Thank you very much. Out to my head. Oh man, I've listened to probably everything Alan Watts has to offer, probably like hundreds of times. That's the only thing that really got me through that rough patch. I think I started listening to Alan Watts even before I started doing psychedelics. He might have been the ones to convince me to do psychedelics, to be honest. I started listening. The first thing I ever heard from Alan Watts was... It's a little bit of a long... There we go. All right, it should work now. Go ahead and click it. Make sure it works. Let me know. The first thing I ever heard from Alan Watts was his speech about money is just an object. And he was saying, you know, I worked in vocational school. You know, I asked the kids what they would want to do, and they said I would be writers, I'd be poets, I'd ride horses. And he goes, you know, why don't you teach in a writing school? You know, pretty much saying, find what you love. There's someone that loves that thing just as much as you will. And there's somebody that's interested in everything. You just got to find out what you want to do and find a way to monetize it. And, you know, I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast the other day with the CEO of Whole Foods. And he said something that I understood at a very young age, because ever since I was a kid, I've been the entrepreneurial type. So the first thing that I ever remember doing when I was a kid, I was probably 8 years old, and I took all of my old toys and I set up like a shop where people could make Legos, and for like $2, buy my old video games, buy all my old Pokemon cards. And the thing that he says, capitalism isn't evil. Profit isn't evil. The reason why people think profit is evil is because you think that that's what rich people are after. Rich people are... The reason why they make so much profit is because they're concerned with creating value. If you create value through a product or a service, the profits just come with it. That's all. So that's pretty much what I've been trying to do my entire life. So like when I sold candy in high school, that's the way that's what led up to my crypto career. You know, I tried to make sure that I gave fair prices that made sense, and I marketed it, you know, just to make sure that people could afford it. I mean, I made sure everything that I sold was $1 and just kind of did that. I turned $8 into $13,000 in 2 years. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but being a kid and not having a job and just selling candy, that's what I did. I took 300 UGs of acid and saw myself die in Vietnam. I didn't have that experience. So actually, listen, I don't like talking a whole lot about drugs. My mother watches these live streams, but I'm an adult. So what? I actually had a much more smooth experience on 300 UGs rather than 100 UGs. One time I took one piece of paper and it sent me into the worst trip of my life. And it actually ended up being the best trip of my life. So I was freaking out and I didn't really know what was going on. So I just laid down, I put some earbuds in, I turned on Ryan Carveo, and just, there was something really special that I learned how to do. When I was in that trip, the thing that saved me was actively listening, getting into a deep meditation, and just drifting away from the physical and being just kind of in this mental space where I could just be alone and let things cool off. So when you listen to music, you usually are listening either in the past or future. You're either trying to listen in the future so that you can predict the next lyric so that you can sing along with it properly, or maybe the lyric that was just said caught your attention, so now you're focused on that. During that trip, I focused on the simultaneous instant that a note or sound came out of his mouth or instrument. And I did not get caught up in the past or in the future. I stayed right there, exactly where the song was going. And it was the most beautiful experience I've ever had in my life, even though it started off as probably one of the worst things that have ever happened to me. That's pretty much it. I'm kind of just shaking talking about it because it was so fantastically awful. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, with the 300 UGs, I watched Dracula on Netflix, the 3-part series, and I had a fantastic time. That was great. That's a good, if you guys want someone to watch, that's a good Netflix show. It starts off as a horror, and then it moves into like a detective, and then you get to see Dracula in the 21st century wearing sweatpants, saying that, "Oh my God, isn't this awesome? They deliver food to you now," as he swipes on Tinder. I thought that was pretty funny. Hey Kite, do you partake in any form of art, like playing an instrument, painting, drawing, poetry? I would love to say I do, but I really don't. And I don't know if that's a detriment. My father is a great guitarist. He always had hoped, like he gifted me a guitar when I was young. He had hoped that I would have like kind of carried on that talent, but unfortunately I didn't really get into it. I when I was young, I wanted to be a rapper. I tried to do poetry because I guess poetry is just is pretty much rapping. Never, I did. So actually, when I was in 7th grade, I drew the most beautiful portrait of Steve Jobs. Well, not Steve Jobs, Steve Jobs that you have ever seen. I wish I had a picture of it or something, but up until that point, I've never really put myself in a position where I had to draw something that immaculate. And when I brought it home, I realized how much better it was than anything I'd ever done. So I had convinced my mom that I had somebody else do it and I took credit for it. So to this day, she doesn't believe that I drew it. It's that good. All right, I'm not trying to hype myself up here, but I did draw Steve Jobs pretty damn good. But no, when I was in school, the only thing that I was really good at was computers and money. I mean, I guess that's what led us here. I remember, the first thing that I remember about computers was being in 6th grade and going to keyboarding class. Not a whole lot of schools have keyboarding class, but ours did. And I broke all the records. I think the record was like 80 words per second. I think I got somewhere around like 120 words per second. I don't think I can do that today, but I memorized everything. Do you still use Market Cipher or just support and resistance? Primarily, I just use support and resistance. That's what has really helped me kind of formulate my trading strategy. I do use indicators. I use primarily RSI. and MACD from time to time. But my Market Cipher subscription ran out, and I don't think it's a necessity for me to make the type of money that I'm making. So I haven't rebought it. Nothing ill towards, Crypto Face or the Market Cipher team. I think it's a wonderful product. I just don't think it's a necessity to have success. Just his beauty routine, John. Now, when I used to work at Buffalo Wild Wings, I was pretty preppy. Like, I made sure that, I guess that's just basic hygiene, but like I made sure that everything was tip top. Like freshly shampooed hair. I had the gel. I had the best cologne. I was fresh. That's what we're trying to get back to for you guys. I'm sure your mom will be thrilled to hear about your lack of forking and dump truck analogies. Mom, please don't hurt me. It's Thanksgiving tomorrow. You have to be thankful I'm your son. I have done LSD outside once, and that was the scariest experience of my life. I'm sure if it was like in a secluded area where I didn't have to deal with people, I would be fine. So there's a trail by my house, a 3 mile long trail through the woods. Very nice, very serene. Even during the winter time, it's really, really, really nice. I have a nice picture of it. Me and a group of friends, we took it. We waited about 30 minutes. We went for a walk. We got to the park at the end of the trail. We watched the sunset, not thinking about the fact that we now have to go back home as the sun is setting and getting dark. So as we start walking back, it is dark outside, and the asphalt underneath us, at least for me, had turned into Aladdin's carpet. And I don't know, I just kind of got paranoid. And at the time, I think I was about 170. And I'm not like the most fantastic runner. I don't usually run long distance. But that day, I ran probably 2.5 miles nonstop. And I just booked it home. And then we had a great time. That was a scary experience. Kite, I'm trying to get into your Discord, your Telegram, man. It's $50 a month. Yes, $50 a month. Now, like I told you guys many times before, the Telegram is just for instant access of this information. Obviously, I share the same exact stuff on the live streams. I don't withhold anything from you guys. I tell you the positions I'm in. But if you guys want to get into the Discord, that is only for the students that are taking the one-on-ones. The reason for that, the Discord is shared between me and Seth. And me and Seth came to the conclusion that we want only people that know what they're doing and are practicing their craft in there, so that we maintain a quality that's above standard. So I mean, that's not. It might not seem like the best reason to most of you guys, but we think that's a pretty good reason. So that comes along with the one-on-ones. But it's a lifetime thing, so you pay for it once, you get the Telegram and the Discord for a lifetime. We need to have some sort of meetup and trip balls together. It would be a fantastic time. Yeah, man. That would be pretty cool. I don't know when's the next time I'll be doing something like that again. But, yeah. So my plan is like I want more years of experience and stuff to really reflect on in my life before I go to that. The way that the younger me explained psychedelics to, like, my father. So my father, he worked at HP, so he has a lot of knowledge when it comes to computers. So I essentially explained to him that your brain is like a filing cabinet of memories and egotistical type things. And, they kind of just get stuffed in there throughout your life. And when you take a psychedelic, it's a way to kind of defrag and organize those files and really go back and reflect on them. That's kind of how I explained it. So I just want more to really reflect on. So it's 450 if you just message me directly on Discord, and we go ahead and do the whole deal through there. If you want to go through Patreon, just in case you have to use a credit card instead of crypto, that is $500. The reason why it's $500 is not to squeeze more money out of you. It's Patreon takes 11% of whatever money comes through it, so it ends up being about the same to me, anyways. Just unfortunately, you guys have to pay a little bit more. Let's see, anything really pumping yet? Not really. Today's kind of just a standstill. What's really sad is I thought Litecoin was going to get moving the other day, and it kind of did. It spiked up to what, $93, $94? Yeah, $94. But we came back down, unfortunately. Let's go check out the smaller time frames. So it looks like we're trying to confirm support off of this range right here, about $86. Looks like we're about to put in a double bottom and try to go retest that upside, though. We do have a nice diagonal. Obviously, you guys know me. I tend to stray away from diagonals on smaller time frames, but we'll see if that continues to hold. Got one right here as well. That could be a kind of our up channel. And obviously, we do have this as well. We have a logarithmic curve off of this. So if we are going based off the logarithmic curve, we should actually be skyrocketing pretty soon. We're getting pretty damn close to it. So we should be able to shoot up here. Do you recommend getting into Dash right now? We covered it earlier. I don't know if you saw that, but we'll go back to it real quick. I think I did it on Kraken. No. So I would actually be waiting for a good entry point for Dash would be a break of this first major resistance here at 134. So you're probably going to be looking for an entry probably around like 138, 140. And then obviously you have your next major resistance here at 178. But past that, it's pretty much open and clear. Your next major resistance is at 526. But to the all-time high, if you do go ahead and just hold on to that entry around 140 and you hold it to the all-time high, that's just under 900% gains. So I'll just wait a little bit. It's not the best time to get into Dash at the moment. Now, if we do happen to go back down to $98, you could possibly get in there as well. That's the last local high that we just broke through. So probably an entry around 101 with a stop loss around like $92 would probably be good. And I mean, that would absolutely increase your percentage up here. That would be about 13x your investment. And like I said, if we do happen to get to like $3,000, $4,000 on that, we'll say $4,000. That's about 40x your investment. I do think Dash will perform well, despite it being down to these lower ranges at the current moment. $500 for that. So it's the one-on-ones as well. So you get lifetime Discord, lifetime Telegram. So I mean, if you're already paying $50 a month for the Telegram, 6 months is already $500. So you get pretty much half a year for free, as well as the Discord. But you also get 4 one-on-one sessions, usually lasting about 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on what information we're going over. First session, usually we just get to know each other, talk about your previous instances in crypto, your past performance, and then we talk about the basic strategies. Next session usually is followed up about count flow and indicators, and then from there we're slightly tweaking your personal trading plan and just kind of going from there. I mean, I say it's 4 sessions just to make sure that you guys, kind of respect the time and the value of the one-on-ones. But as always, like if you guys get into kind of like a stuck point and you're kind of like, I don't know what's going on, man. Like I'm really suffering here. we can always go back and review the information, kind of get everything shaped back up.
And if I cry, just dry my tears. 'Cause I don't
Oh,
feel anybody's gotta
I already had breakfast this morning, so I don't know if I want more food. All right, 2 o'clock. Let's see. So I woke up at 2. So 12 hours would be 2 o'clock. So I've already been up for 12 hours. I slept for like 2 hours though. So I guess I've only been up for 10. So I should be able to stay up for about 6 more hours. I should be able to make it to about 8 o'clock.
because I'm getting tired of who I've become. How can I move on when I've
Yeah, man, I really want to give you guys the best value. Obviously, there's always going to be haters that are like, what is this chubby-faced 20-year-old kid talking about? He wants $450 from me. It's your choice. Obviously, like I've told you many times, I give the same information on the live streams. And obviously, if you guys ask a specific question, I'm going to try to teach you guys live. But, yeah, man, I'm just trying to do best by you guys.
Not sure why they talking, they keep talking, they don't faze me. Yeah, I ain't do it to 'em, but for some reason they
I was going to say something.
the songs I'm gonna make probably end up thrown
I don't know.
away. These rappers that I see are underwhelming, over
Is Martin's indicators are reliable?
telling me to go like I got the right of way. Some of y'all not bad as
I don't know what you mean by Martin indicators.
all you rap about is how much weed you have.
So if you can give me a specific one, maybe I can talk about it.
Checking under pressure, nothing pressing. They just trying to impress. It's not impressive. I just swing when I back and
Yeah, man, I'm having fun. This is the first like longer stream that we've had in quite a while. Usually I try to keep it about an hour. What in the hell? Why are you barking? You scared the hell out of me, fish. Oh, I didn't want to talk about this. I'm not trying to throw shade here. All right, and I'm not going to name any names. But there is a specific someone that messaged me talking about, you know, have I ever tried to monetize the risk reward calculator? And that was, I don't want to like be mean about it. Obviously, it's an idea. And if I was a different person, maybe I would have done that. But monetizing something like that doesn't make sense in my mind. It is so useful, but it's really nothing special. All right, so, and anyways, I created the formula for the risk reward calculator, but I did not make the risk reward calculator itself. One of my students that I taught the formula to, I guess he was like, I don't want to do this in my head all the time. So he made the Excel sheet to do it easy and quickly. And I mean, it's just been fantastic. I mean, I've taught it to all my students. So it felt weird that he would ask that. Oh, but like I said, let me go ahead and show you guys the risk reward calculator again. If anybody needs an update on how it works, or for anybody that hasn't used it yet and wants to learn how to use it. All right, so this is the risk reward calculator. There is a newer version out if you guys are on the Telegram. If you guys go to the main channel, the one with the yellow icon, and then click on the 3 bubbles up in the top right, click on Files, you'll find the new one. The new one has 2 separate calculators and it has a little bit more pizzazz to it, showing you what your risk is and all that. So let's say you have a $1,000 portfolio. All right, this first box here, that's going to be your margin. That's what you actually put into the trade. Now, let me go through a couple different setups on why you might want to use higher margin or lower margin. Now, there is the issue of Bybit being a Chinese leverage exchange. I do think it's safe, but there is always that chance that it does get hacked, or maybe they have to force US customers out quickly and you get your funds lost on there. There is always that possibility. So in terms of risk management, you also have something called portfolio exposure. All right, so if you are using 100% of your portfolio as margin, that means you need 100% of your portfolio on the website. That's probably not the best thing. Now, if you do have a smaller portfolio like $500 and it's not that big of a deal to you, you could do that because there is a reason why you might want to do that. Now, my particular setup usually looks something like this. All right, I usually use about 8% of my portfolio as margin and then about 25% of my margin as risk. I'm not risking 25% of my portfolio. I'm risking 2% of my portfolio, but 25% of the 8% of my portfolio. So that comes out to 20 bucks. $20 is 2% of 1,000. Then what you want to do is go to your chart, find out the trade that you want to take. I know you can't leverage trade dash, but we're just going to use this as an example. And let's say we want to trade a breakout above the 134 resistance. All right, so you'll give yourself a little bit of a buffer, say enter around like 137. And then give yourself a little bit of a buffer on the stop loss, maybe about 7%. All right, and then you would be targeting the next resistance. And would you look at that? That's a perfect 4. That's exactly what we're looking for. All right, so now the only thing that really matters from this risk reward setup, obviously you want to make sure that it's a minimum of 4 if that is your criteria, but more importantly, the stop loss. All right, so now you go ahead and you take that stop loss and you put it in right here, 7.24 without the percentage sign, and that will tell you what leverage to use and then how many contracts to use. Simple, easy, effective. Now, if you want to use higher leverage, you need to get a better entry and a better stop loss. So if you have a 2% stop loss, you'll get higher leverage, higher contracts, i.e. more risk to reward. Now, why did I say you might want to use a little bit more margin? So something that I dealt with the $100 account was I was using 2% margin, or, whatever it might be, and then allowing myself to get liquidated. That way I could use as much leverage as possible. Now, the higher leverage is not the issue. The issue is that I had a lot more portfolio that I could dump into DCAs or whatever it might be. And I was really stupid with that. So I then switched to locking up the majority of my portfolio in a good trade, so that way I couldn't screw it up. So then I switched to 100% with, at the time, like a 10% risk. All right. And then it would be 5x, 5,000 contracts. So what this does, so if you were to set this up the opposite way, you would do 10%, 100%. So you can see I'm using 50x leverage versus 5x leverage. And from a traditional perspective, that might not sound like it's a good thing because I'm making less money on the $100, the 100% margin. What matters is how much you're willing to lose. So if I'm going to lose $100 and the trade is a 4 risk reward ratio, it doesn't matter. I'm going to make $400 either way, whether it's 5x leverage or 50x leverage. All right. So that's the 2 different ways you can set it up. Obviously, you can tweak this. The main reason why I use 8%, 25% now is so that way when I put in my contracts and then I click, limit long or market long or whatever, and it goes to that part where you can put in your stop loss. You know how it has the predetermined like 10%, 15%, 25%, 50%? That way I can just click 25% and it sets up my stop loss exactly where it's supposed to be. That way I kind of just save some time and save some typing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully that helped you out. It's in the description now. I updated it. Oh, you guys want fish? Okay. I got you. I just woke him up from a nap. He's mad. Say hello. Okay. It comes with momentum lines and stochastic trend. I do think, like, if that's kind of similar to like EMAs and SMAs, those are decent. But when it comes to how I trade, I mostly just go off of local highs, local lows, and long-term diagonals, and logarithmic curves as well. I don't really use those because it's just not my style. I know, like, if you look at Crown Crypto, He uses EMAs and SMAs all the time, and I'm sure he's very successful with them. But I've found my personal way to be successful, and it's just not that. So I mean, I'm not saying that they aren't good. I'm just saying they're just not for me. I should probably not keep my 10K in my Bybit account then. Probably not. Not the best idea. I would say if you have $10,000, I would say keep like $1,000 in Bybit. That way, you know, you have enough to trade with, but you're not really at risk of anything else. And you can put like some on Coinbase. So that way you can kind of change between different altcoins as certain resistances break, and then to put the rest in like, if you have a hardware wallet, that's always good. If you don't have a hardware wallet, I think Exodus is a really good wallet. I've used that a lot. What's your opinion on using logarithmic regression curve to calculate tops? I personally think it's going to underestimate this bull market run. I personally think that we're going to be in a rising channel. Possibly. Definitely possibly. I mean, if we're looking at the previous bull run, it didn't call the top exactly, but it could have called when we broke the top, and then it could have got out pretty soon. So let's go ahead and look at this one right here. So that's the logarithmic curve from the previous bull run. Obviously not perfect, but you can see we broke it, and then we came back up to retest it, and then we fell from there. And this is roughly where we broke the 50 on the RSI as well, and then went back up to retest it and got our rejection. So, I mean, that is definitely where I would have cashed out if I had played it correctly. I mean, I don't think logarithmic curves are like the end all be all. I definitely think they help. I remember I called us pumping from 10K off of a logarithmic curve here. So I remember seeing this right here. That I saw this initial curve up off of this, and I forgot how I did this. Oh no, I did it like this. I think that's how I had it. So I don't think I expected it to go crazy, but I did expect us to pump out of this. Great reset coming. Yeah, man. I know everybody's talking about it. I remember back when I first started this YouTube channel, and I was doing technical analysis. At some of my videos, I would say, make sure you make as much money as possible for this economic collapse. And when people ask me about it in live stream, I was like, I know it's coming. I just don't know what's going to be the catalyst. And Corona was the catalyst. I mean, we did dump hard on everything, but I don't think that's exactly what I was looking for. Crypto Chris, what's going on, man? How you doing, buddy? Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. We've got to go to Bitstamp for that. Yeah, you're talking about this, right? That's another reason why we possibly could take much longer to get to our next major top. Because maybe this time around it's not going to be a logarithmic curve. Maybe it is going to be this rising channel. I mean, maybe we go and we do a logarithmic curve all the way up to 300,000 and then crash back down to, 80,000. Who knows? So you think there's going to be a harder dump in the future? I think, obviously I don't like to talk about like major subjects that I don't have the best understanding of. I know for a fact that the Western European countries are going to be the first ones to go, followed by some other countries, and then obviously the major players like China and the U.S. are probably going to be the last ones to go. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of conspiracy theories on why it's happening. You know, obviously, like one world government and, you know, who's controlling it, blah, blah, blah. I just think it's the way things have to progress. I do think the future is digital. It makes more sense, despite if it's decentralized or deflationary currency. Obviously, you know, the U.S. dollar, if it becomes a crypto, is probably still going to be a whatchamacallit, a inflationary currency. But that makes more sense because if you have a digital currency and you're printing, you don't have to pay for paper anymore. You can just type ones and zeros into a computer. I just think it's the way of the future. Obviously, people hate when I say this, but China is honestly, not politically, but economically, more capitalist than the United States. The way they transact currency, light years beyond us. The business practices over there, light years beyond us. Now, obviously, their political side of things is still communist. I don't obviously support that, but it is what it is. But China's way more capitalist than the United States, and I'll debate people on that. So you think there's oh, I already read that one. Julian, how you doing, man? What's going on? What is the longest trade you've held a trade for, and at what leverage? So currently, the longest trade that I held was the short of over here at $9,000. Actually, let me backtrack that. So it was about 66 days, and I was primarily holding that to test funding and what I could make off of it. And I think it was about 10x. Currently, the longest trade that I've been in is the ETH trade, but this has only been a couple weeks. I took the 3x long from here, and it's on par with the other one, about 55 days. So, I mean, I'm still going to be holding this for quite a while. Probably by the end of this, it's probably going to be like 120 days. That's what I'm kind of expecting, somewhere around like maybe here, 120, 160 days until the all-time high. Thanks, man. I was sick as a dog for a week. It sucked. It sucked, man. Oh, I'll play. I'm kind of in a search for more music. I have like my main artists that I listen to constantly. I kind of want to find some new people. I like finding people that not many people have heard of. I don't know if it's like a hipster type thing where I want to be like cool because I'm the one person that knows this person. But more importantly, like I want to find people that have talent but don't have like a following yet. That way I can be a part of their growth. Like I followed this dude named Nick D about a year and a half ago. Come to find out, you know, I love this dude. I've been listening to his music for so long. Come to find out, he's one city away from me in Virginia. Not many major artists live in Virginia. So, I mean, he's awesome. The first song it wasn't even a song. It was kind of like spoken word almost. This was the first song that I heard from him. Where's it at? This right here. I'm going to play it.
Why you getting sentimental, yeah? Said the message need a vessel, yeah.
Wait, maybe not this one.
This just what I
no, this was it. This was it. Listen to I Didn't Know by Skin Shapes. I'll check it out, man.
Seems like before I knew it, I was 26 and
thanks for the stream. Enjoyed listening to it while I get ready for work. Take care. Sammy, as always, man, I thank you very much. Have a great day, man.
Because if you really pay attention to it, life's a gift. I've been working hard, extremely hard for like 10 years. My mind is spinning and I can't stop the wheels. Yeah, stop the beat. It's a lot
I need a fade. I used to have, you know, like a disconnected part and then a fade down.
Just don't make it the center of your life. I've been struggling with that for like, I don't know, ask my wife, but it's been a minute, and then somehow time goes missing, and you think you could find it, but it's gone, and you wish it was different.
How many accounts should I have for trading full time? I would say, you know, obviously if you're just starting out, just one. Just kind of make sure you don't like spread yourself too thin. But definitely 2 is like the most optimal. 1 for smaller term scalp trading, and then obviously 1 for longer term holds. Skin tight, tapered fade. I don't know, man. Maybe once I'm skinny again, I have the confidence to pull that off.
Good for you. Dust off the dirt and make your next move. You can do anything that you choose. Maybe love somebody old. Maybe love somebody new. Yes, it's pain in this life.
I think I'm gonna go pick up some more clothes though. I don't know if I'm gonna go out on Black Friday. I think it's gonna be kind of crazy. Maybe it won't be because of Corona. Maybe people will actually stay home. I get a chance. But I need some more shirts. I'm very basic when it comes to clothing. I literally bought 5 pairs of the same shirt. Actually, about 10 pairs of the same shirt, just in 2 different colors. And then 4 pairs of the same pants. You working out? No, right now, just intermittent fasting, getting my weight down, and I'm focused on calisthenics later. Obviously, not really the best excuse, but that's what I'm doing. That's my plan. All right, first we'll check out skin shapes. You said I didn't know? This has 12 million views. I can't listen to this. Too many views. You got a girl? Nah, not at the moment. Not on the top of my to-do list. My mom always asks me that same damn question. She's like, when are you going to go out and find a girl? And I'm like, where am I going to find a girl, Mom, with Corona going on? I don't go to any bars. I don't work at a work. Usually people find someone at their work. All right? That's where I found my last girlfriend. But I don't know, man. I don't feel like going on Tinder either, man. Just not me. Have you read Ray Dalio on LinkedIn? He's publishing every chapter separately. No, I haven't read that book. He'll definitely be swinging it after this bull run. That's what I told my mom. I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I don't really have to worry about a girl. All right? I'm going to have money. And if it ever comes down to it, I don't find someone that matches me. You know, obviously I want kids. I'll get like a surrogate or something. I don't know, man. It sounds, people make that sound weird. Like you're going to get a surrogate and have a kid. I want a son. I want a daughter. I feel, you know, obviously I don't know what it's like to have children, but I feel like that's how you continue to live. If you don't have kids, you're kind of just giving up and you truly die. But although there is that part of me that's like, do I want to bring a kid into this world? Do I think humanity is going in the right direction and that we won't have some crazy catastrophe in the next couple of years, you know, or at least in my kid's lifetime? I don't know. Or I could just be that selfish parent that just brings a kid in this world and it's like, hey, deal with it, suck it up. I walked through 2 feet of snow to school every day because of global warming, and then I didn't have any snow the rest of my senior year, so I just walked to school. Yeah, they're probably like 200 years, like all of these kids are either going to be in like virtual reality school or they're going to have like personal AI driven Ubers to school. I like this song. This is nice. This is an acid song. It's like nice and flowy. Do you know any APIs or software that can put me in a position and out by drawing a line in a chart? I think, what's that guy's name? Shoehead? That used to be on Crypto Face's Discord. He had his own, maybe his name wasn't Shoehead. I forgot what it was. I know it was Shoe something. He had like an API that could put in DCAs for you. I forgot what it was. What's in that vape? Nicotine. I really got to quit these. I tell myself every single time that when I get a new one, this is my last one. And I feel like my dad, because that's how he was with cigarettes. But obviously I know that this is safer than cigarettes. Now, the question is, cigarettes don't have 50 milligrams of nic in them. All right, these do. So it's probably not the best thing. And that's probably why I can't sleep, to be honest. I did quit for like 5 days, but then it was like demons, man. My roommate was like, "You want a Camel Wide?" I had never smoked cigarettes in my life, but I was like, I need nicotine. So I did it, and then they got me hooked back on it. And I quit again for another 4 days, and I went to my sister's house, and I just faltered, and I was like, "Can I have a cigarette?" And you feel disgusting when you have cigarettes, but it works for when you need it. Existentialism and surrogacy off of nicotine. Ugh. Nah, I think it's just we talk about crypto, and then we run out of crypto to talk about, and now we have to move on to different subjects. And I don't know, man, we just kind of get to where we go. Yeah, man, it's kind of like a double-edged sword because nicotine is a stimulant, so it does help you focus when you initially start using it, but then it stops and it becomes a reliant thing, and you can't focus when you don't have it. And when you do use it, you can focus a little bit less. One thing is I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was because I grew up or the use of psychedelics, but something cured. I still have like ADD, but the one thing that I miss about ADD is the ability to hyper focus. I haven't been able to do that recently. I remember growing up, I kind of remember like my life in like these hyper focus phases. So it was, making money as fast as possible, working out, philosophy, I know I'm missing a couple. PC building, learning PCs. Trading, crypto. I could hyper focus on all these things, and that was my life. Now it's kind of just like I know these things, and they don't quite pique my interest the way they do. Like I would love to like pick up a book about trading and get through it, almost immediately, but it takes me so dang long. You smoke weed? I used to. Back, like when I was 17, 18, I was baked all the time. But it's just not for me anymore. I don't know. It's just not my thing. I do think there's health benefits to marijuana, but just me personally, I think it was the use of psychedelics because since... Oh, let me turn off my air conditioner real quick. It's getting a little bit cold in here. But since my use of psychedelics, marijuana is a psychedelic itself, but when you just use that, you don't really notice how psychedelic marijuana is. So when I started using psychedelics, it kind of turned marijuana from like this chillax thing into like a full-on trip, and it was really uncomfortable for me. I didn't like it. And upon that, like I started to get fat, so the increased heart rate kind of scared me as well. So I didn't like it. So on Bitstamp, it does show us pretty much at the all-time high average, but when it really comes down to it, on Coinbase is where you really want to be looking for that. Not Coinbase itself, but BTC USD is where you want to be looking for that all-time high average, and that's at about 19,600. So unfortunately, on my TikTok video, I said an entry above 19,150 would be good, but 19,750 would probably be the best entry for that break. Mrs. G, how you doing? I was asking myself the other day where you had been with everything going up. I was like, man, she must be really mad. Well, how you doing? What's going on? I'm so bad at managing my time and trading. That's why, like, that's the main thing. When I teach people, I try to reiterate why you might not want to be a scalper. Scalping is for people that can use a minimum amount of risk and still make good money. If you have to risk 10% of your account to make decent money on a scalp, you shouldn't do that. And anyways, if you do trade the 2 hour to 4 hour, you could make like one trade a week and make, 50% to your portfolio per month. And, I'll if you do sign up, Crypto Addicted Snarf, I got some pretty good examples of how much you could have made just with these 3 ranges right here. And then obviously we took off after that. And it's going to make you mad at how simple and how much money you could have made off of these ranges. But hopefully in the future, that will help you not make the same mistakes and capitalize on stuff like this. You're talking about microdosing mushrooms, Malky Dot? Oh, let me check out the person who you suggested. What was his name? How far along was this? I can't find the message. Hold on. Okay, if you like rap, listen to Gerbo. Or G Herbo. You said what song? PTSD. It has 137 million plays. It's too mainstream. Oh, DA got that go. Oh, I've heard this song. My roommate plays this in the song all the time. He's a huge Juice WRLD fan. PTSD. Yeah, that is a good song. It's not really my favorite. But I don't really like that type of music, that type of rap. It's nothing personal. It's just, well, I guess it is personal, but it's just not for me. But although I say that, there is this kid that I found. It's a 13-year-old kid. I found him on YouTube just by chance. His name's Shore. And I'm going to play one of his songs real quick. Obviously, like I said, I don't really like this type of rap. But for him being 13, if this type of rap does stay mainstream for long enough, I do think this kid is going to be pretty popular. This song only has 3,000 views. And he only has 313 monthly listeners. I just thought it was pretty cool that he has this much talent at this young of an age.
Until tomorrow, got a pain inside my body, I so smart. Yeah. I feel hollow. Gotta go out for the day until tomorrow.
Sorry, forgive me. I always think mushrooms are
13, I ain't for the top and no
the
Apollo. No Apollo.
crazy ones.
I'm back to the old man side to that Draco. I can't believe I don't know some people for that pain though. If it was me, I know I'd never be the same though. Be the same though, the same though. Shit is tragic. When you look like this, a nigga need some magic. Had it. Run around to the city, music blasted. Crazy how niggas talk that shit, but don't want that shit.
Absolutely. If you can use marijuana instead of painkillers, that's the best. My dad, our family was broken up because of my dad and his use with Oxycontin. I don't believe it was fully his fault. Oxycontin was the worst drug in the world that was promoted to the public in ways that shouldn't have been done. But, obviously they got what was coming to them. I don't think they paid the full price that they should have. Obviously they got their company taken away and they got like $1 billion in fines. But the amount of deaths that are on their hands and broken families, they deserve hell.
Be the same, though the shit enticing, and shit enticing, but I know nobody else is fighting, the shit I'm fighting. Got labels left on red, thinking I'm deciding, but he don't know what to do, don't know how I'm plotting. But bury you a Birkin, nigga, I'm uncertain. How the hell I leave that girl alone, but still got a nigga hurting. But it's best to leave that shit alone, at the top where I be lurking. That shit is for certain, that shit is for certain, for certain. Been ballin' on my lonely.
How did you get into trading? So when I was about 15 to 16, I just sold candy in high school. So I've been in crypto, like knowledge-wise, since I was probably about, I would say, around 12 to 13. I think the first time I ever heard of crypto when I was about 11. But then I really got into it with the $1,000 pop. And I remember like getting all my classmates around the computer and kind of showing them, how much money you could have made. And then I dove deep into like the technology side of things, why Bitcoin was going up. What is Bitcoin? Why is it important? So I learned about it and I was like, this is the future. This is what we're going to be going to. So when I did sell that candy, I turned $8 into $13,000. And then I took all of that money and I just put it into Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin between $500 and $1,000, and by the end of the $20,000 run-up, I had about $400,000. And unfortunately, I was stupid and I did not sell it, so I ended up with about, I think, $133,000 when we were stuck in that Adam and Eve down at $3,000, and then I got into trading. I pretty much got into just basic trading off of Crypto Bitcoin Chris first. And then I moved to Market Cypher. I had varying success with Market Cypher, but I've learned a lot from it. And I kind of just developed as we went along. Now, I got very lucky with the $3,000 run up to 14K. I used stupid risk and stupid leverage, but it worked out in my favor. Once we got stuck in the descending triangle back in, I think, September of 2019, I'm not sure. July to September. I did lose a lot of what I made on the run-up, but then I slowly started to learn how to do everything properly. And by the time we really got to, like this run-up right here, I was pretty proficient. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to capitalize on the full drop here, but I was able to save most of my portfolio because I knew that if we broke past this last support here, we were going to go back down to the $6,800 support. So I did buy some back there, but then obviously we slipped through that. And I was using GonFans at the time, and I was able to pick up pretty much all of my Bitcoin again at around, I think, $4,000 to $3,800. That's where the 8-to-1 GonFan was sitting. So, I was pretty lucky with that. And once we got in these ranges, obviously I started the $100 account. I was semi-successful with that, and I've just been grinding along. I wish I could play John Bellion, but that would probably get banned off the stream again. Let's see. We're probably going to be coming to an end here on the stream shortly. I'll probably go for like another 15 minutes, just making it 3 hours even. But yeah, it's been a fun stream, guys. I do appreciate everybody hanging out today. That was pretty awesome. I mean, there's lots of good altcoins to go ahead and put your money into that has fantastic spreads. Uh, I just don't, obviously, if you're just getting into crypto, I do think you can make a good amount of money off of Bitcoin, but it's not going to be the biggest gainer in terms of percentages. Let's see. That's a good song. Diego Maradona. I don't know who he was. Was he an artist?
You told me that you were proud. How long are you here in town?
Kyle, thank you very much, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by today.
Why you lying through your teeth? I ain't said them on this on a minor raving, yeah. I ain't say a word, but you vibing, man, that's crazy, yeah. Not sure why they talking, they keep talking, it don't faze me, yeah. I ain't do it to them, but for some reason they angry, yeah. Had the songs I'm gonna make, probably end up.
I know Oxycontin is banned now, or at least it's no longer in production, but they do have oxycodone, which I would assume is pretty much the same exact thing, just a little bit less. Soccer player? You think I'm a soccer player or are you a soccer player? Oh, he's a soccer player. Diego, my bad. Maradona. I don't watch soccer, unfortunately. Kite, what is your TikTok /ID? It's Austin, so it's at Austin Kite. Obviously when I made the TikTok, I thought it was just going to be something I used to like videos and follow people. But I did turn it into the crypto thing. So, I mean, I don't know if I can change my username to Kite Crypto, so it might just stay Austin Kite. But it's Austin, spelled with an O instead of an I, so it's AUSTON. A little bit weird of a spelling, but... Dude, I was playing Call of Duty maybe like a month ago, and I met the first Austin with an O in my life. Like, his name was just Austin, his gamer tag. And I was like, is this a joke? You making fun of me? He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, that's my name, bro. He was like, no, it's not. Nobody has their name spelled like this. I was like, my parents told me the same thing. They lied to you. I thought it was pretty cool.
You were proud. How long are you here in town? You said you want me.
Did you kite as well? Did you kite as well? I don't know what you mean by that. I'm sorry. Like, did I play with kites as a kid? Absolutely, man. I remember one of my first kites was a Winnie the Pooh kite, and then I had a dragon kite. And I just went with a basic kite, one of those, regular ones. I've never been kite surfing. Nah. I think it'd be cool, though. It's been a while since I've gone to the beach, actually. I want to take a vacation this year with me and my friends. I usually just go down to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. That's my place I go. Hey, don't do that. I haven't been to the beach since sophomore year, so 2016. Yeah, man, I can't imagine how much different my life would have been if that drug was never invented. And it's sad to say that one thing sent my life in a completely different path, because my parents separated when I was 4 to 5 years old, and it was rough. It was rough, man. My mom's told me many times, she was like, if your dad, she said one of two things. She said, if it wasn't for you guys, the kids, I probably would have stayed with your father despite the drug use. But she was like, if your dad would have never gotten on Oxycontin, we probably would have been together our entire lives. She was like, I never loved a man like your dad. And that's saying something. She's had many husbands, not to throw my mom under the bus. I don't think it's, a bad thing. Some people look down on it. I don't, obviously. But yeah, it sucks. It does. But, I've had a pretty good life. My stepdad's amazing. I wouldn't, give him up for the world. So, I mean, everything works out in the end. They have worse stuff than Oxy, my work. Yeah, man, it sucks. Opioids is one of the worst drugs in the world because, so I had like this little like escapade where I kind of like theorized past events, and I was on this spiel about how great men understand the problems that come from solutions. Because a normal human being, we're just looking for the solution of the current problem, but we don't think ahead to what the solution's problem is going to be. So when you think about coming back from World War II, all right, we've had many, many years of war. Everybody's depressed. So now we need to make the public happy. How do you make the public happy? More money, more objects, consumerism. All right, so in order to have a more successful economy to promote consumerism, what do you need? You need productivity. How do you get productivity? Stimulants and painkillers. If you have painkillers, you have less pain, so you can work longer and harder. If you have stimulants, you can be more focused and work longer and harder. So the public gets addicted to these substances. It's this precarious lead up to these events that causes this big opioid crisis. And you have places like, I think it's Thailand. I'm not sure if it's the correct country, but I think it's Thailand, where they're big poppy farmers over there for opioids, and they banned kratom. Now, kratom is not the best drug in the world for pain. It's still addictive, but it is significantly better than Oxycontin, Percocets, all this other stuff. It's a shame that they have to ban something that's statistically safer in order to make sure that the profits of the current asset they're exporting succeeds. It's so corrupt. It's ridiculous. Go get some color. Yeah, man. I definitely need to be sunburnt once or twice. Hate getting sunburnt, but it does make you feel good afterwards. Dude, I remember one time I went with my family out to like this little island, and there was no shade. And come to find out, we're there for 6 hours, and I'm chilling under the only umbrella in the entire... We have 20 umbrellas for all of our family. I'm chilling under the only umbrella that does not have UV protection. I come back from that island, I could not move. I could not walk. I was literally a lobster. That, if I do get skin cancer one day, like melanoma, it's probably from that one instance. That's awesome, Crazy Kangaroo. I'm glad you're feeling better, man. Yeah, man, I feel for you. I feel for you. I've experimented with a lot of things, but that will never be one of them. Pills just don't... They disgust me, to be honest. They really do. Obviously, if you have true medical reasons for taking them, that's a different story. But these kids and rappers out here popping Xanax and perks, it does not make physical sense to me, man. It does not. It doesn't. It's so dumb. There's so many other things out there that might not be the best for you, but are at least safe. Statistically. And that's another thing, man. Like, modafinil. All right, modafinil is essentially the safer version of what's the three major drugs? Ritalin, Adderall, and Visine, I think is, yeah, Visine. I think that's it. Modafinil is the safe version of that. Obviously, it's still a stimulant, but it doesn't have the same compounds as the amphetamines. But yet, you can't get it. If you go to a doctor, they're not going to give you modafinil. They're going to shove Adderall down your throat. And that shit, yes, I've done it. And the way I describe Adderall, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. And that's how you know it's bad for you. That's why I love psychedelics, man. They're fun, but psychedelics have a way of slapping you in the face if you go overboard with them, to the point where you won't touch them. They're like self-regulating in terms of addiction, and they're not addictive to begin with. So I mean, they can be addictive psychologically, but not physically. '30th of November, 15-kilometer test, SN8 Starship, SpaceX. Will be historic. Dude, Elon Musk is one of the greatest people to come along ever. I wholeheartedly believe that Elon Musk made Bitcoin. It makes sense in my head. It really does. You know, he comes along, he makes a revolutionary way to transact currency over the internet. And then ditches the company. He just sells it. Why would he sell something so massively profitable? Maybe he understood the solution, the problem created from a solution was the currency, and then went on to create another solution. So maybe there's a problem that comes from cryptocurrency, which might be criminal organizations having a way to hide. Who knows? Yeah, man, never done meth, but I've done Adderall, so I probably know what meth does. Yeah, man, I just, so, like, if you watch these interviews where Elon Musk is asked about Bitcoin, he always, like, scrubs it off real quick. I mean, obviously, that's not, like, the biggest evidence in the world, but he's really standoffish about it when he's asked in person. But then when stuff like this is happening, Elon Musk out of nowhere will post a picture of a Bitcoin symbol with an anime chick on it for no reason. Obviously, he's a meme lord when it comes to Twitter, but that's just a little bit weird to do that. And like I said, creates PayPal, a revolutionary way to transact currency over the internet, but then ditches the company despite it being the most profitable thing probably to come along in a while. Why would he do that? And then almost went broke. But coincidentally, before he went broke, December 17th hit, and then we had a massive explosion on Bitcoin, and now he starts all these companies. I don't know. Also has to do with him getting a contract with NASA. His story is so spectacular. He almost went dead broke, and he recalls this time. It was Christmas morning, and he was so depressed, and he got the call from NASA with the contract, and that pretty much that was the turning point for him. And I don't think normal humans today can really accept the idea of getting something like Neuralink. But you got to think, Elon Musk is thinking in like 1,000-year time span, whereas somebody is just thinking about their local life. So he's thinking about, he's described his main goal is to help us get to a type 1 civilization as quick as possible. So there's a thing called the Kardashev scale. Pretty much what it is a scientific method of calculating how advanced a civilization is. So a type 1 is we can use and store all of the energy available to us on our planet. Type 2 all of the energy that's available that we can use and store in our solar system. And then type 3 is a galactic civilization. We can use and store all of the energy in our host galaxy. So he's trying to get us to a type 1. We're not even a type 0 right now. So his ideology is that we need the help of advanced AI. And in order to make sure that the AI doesn't shove us out of the way, you know, like the Will Smith movie and stuff like that, we need to assimilate with the AI, i.e. Neuralink, being able to enhance the human brain through technology to keep up with said AI, even though it still might be a little bit smarter than us. That's his reasoning for this stuff. And I'm sure, like, that's going to lead to, like, some Black Mirror type things happening, but I don't think it's going to be the downfall of humanity. What I'm really looking forward to, and I hope happens in our lifetime, I hope there's like a gaming offshoot of Neuralink that can hijack your nervous system and your vision. So that way it can put you into a simulated environment, kind of like a dream, where you can play video games as if you were actually there, like the Black Mirror episode. I would love that so much. I do think I'm going to get the Neuralink. As soon as it's publicly available and safe to use, I think I'm going to take that risk. Because you could say, well, I'm not going to get it because I don't want someone to flip a switch and turn me into a robot where I don't have any emotions. Listen, you're a flesh and bone human being that's probably only going to be around for about 80 years. You have a chance of becoming, you know, obviously if you're religious, this is like blasphemy, becoming like a superhuman, being able to think faster than light, and pretty much your vision won't degrade, paralysis won't be a thing, a lot of physical ailments won't be a thing. We'll be able to print, print organs at will, so there's no lack of donations. You have one chance at making that kind of history. And even if everything goes wrong, even if some kill switch happens, let's say you're 50 years old when a kill switch happens. Yeah, did you miss out on 40% of your lifespan? Yes, but you took a chance, because that is probably our only chance at not becoming extinct. Because if we cannot get off this planet and learn how to be a peaceful society and be able to move the civilization just in case an asteroid comes or something like that, we're going to go extinct one day. And that's all humans are. We're just a bunch of pioneers looking for the next frontier. And I do think the next frontier is consciousness, learning how to be peaceful, learning how to, and that's why I think right now it's so extreme in terms of violence and people hating each other, because we have to learn what pure hate feels like in order to learn how to get rid of that. We have to know the opposite in order to know what we need to be. That's all.
These rappers buying chains with chains around their neck. Whoa, I do it for the people who got nothing left. And if I
1,000 years, man. No, I'm talking about, it's going to take us about, if we continue on the path we're on, it's going to take about 1,000 years to get to a type 1 civilization, if not more. Elon Musk, he's said himself, he's trying to do that in like 30% of the time, 300 years. So, I mean, I think that's a good estimate. But when it comes to like Neuralink and all that stuff, yeah, 2045, if not the next like 10 years, 2030. Yeah, man, that's why I said as soon as the publicly available version, that's not really for just medical stuff, that's the one that I'm gonna get, because obviously I'm probably still gonna be young by the time that first version comes out. I probably won't have to deal with all this stuff. But from what he said, now the scary part of it is that it can hijack your vision system, or at least they have this like experiment with the monkeys that they put the Neuralink in, and they have actually let me find these images because they are actually terrifying.
Dreams like I always knew. All these arenas, I hope we hit Barclays soon. Or Madison Square. You know when calling, we there. Be aware every time.
I don't wanna tie, need to win it every time. They wanna connect, bet I know the reason why. I lost a couple friends, we gon' celebrate the lives. Every time, every time. If we pop up in your city, we gon' shut it down. I gotta rep the squad, even if I'm out of town. My circle extra small.
Here it is.
We don't play around. You know how we do it.
So Neuralink can hijack your brain and pump out AI generated images of your thoughts. That is the one thing that kind of concerns me and is a little bit Orwellian and could be used for nefarious purposes in the future. Like they talk about like the thought police and the possibility of that. This is actually something that could do it. So this is the images that the Neuralink from a monkey's brain spat out. That's the most horrifying human face I've ever seen in my life. That's crazy. I just thought that was pretty cool. We are one soul, bro. Absolutely, man. The way I describe it, and you know, obviously I didn't make up this analogy. It might have been Alan Watts, it might have been somebody else. But essentially, consciousness or soul is like the sun. And we as humans are just different windows, different shapes, different colors, different stains of glass, all shining the same source of consciousness in unique perspectives. And when you die, you assimilate back into that cosmic consciousness. Because, I mean, if you want to think of it from a scientific level, we were all the same exact infinitesimal point in the universe that exploded outwards. We are all the same exact thing, no matter how far apart we are. We are all the center of the universe that is everywhere. So, at a very basic level of reality, whatever excites this advanced form of intelligence is probably still there on the micro levels. Maybe not in the same way, but eventually, you know, when we die, our atoms, billions of light years away from now, billions of years, not light years away, or maybe billions of light years in the distance, might form back into an intelligent creature. And we just might not remember who we were all that time ago. Who knows? Just talking out of my ass. I think the advent of nuclear war has actually helped helped humanity in ways that we can't even imagine, because the thought of nuclear war is so terrifying. I think nuclear war has brought peace to humans that we haven't had in a very long time. Yes, there's still war. Yes, there's still evil things going on. But in terms of like world wars and people stepping out of line in ways that should not happen, the threat of a nuke works pretty well. It really does. And has led to technologies that have helped us in ways just besides killing. Exactly. I think Alan Watts said it best. He said, the greatest trick the God ever played was convincing himself he was not. Now, obviously, depending on your religion, you know, that context of, you know, you are God is kind of blasphemous. But, you know, at the core of Christianity, you know, you're made in God's image. You are essentially God. Obviously, if you're looking at it from a Christian's perspective, you're not all seeing and all knowing, but you're made in His image. But with that being said, guys, we're at the 3-hour mark. We're actually a little bit past. We're about 3 hours and 10 minutes. I was starting to slow down a little bit as we start getting those philosophical discussions. Today was an absolute glory of a stream. I really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me for so long today. As always, I appreciate you guys very, very much. I really do hanging out with you. I like hanging out with you guys. And yeah, check out my TikTok. Keep updated. And as always, you guys can check out the Patreon link if you want to. And if you guys will, if you guys sign up with your Bybit to the Bybit affiliate link, you guys can help out with the future giveaways. And with the funding rates being the way they are, your fees are pretty much going to dump into that. And then I'm just going to kind of sit on that for a while, let it grow in value. And hopefully somewhere around like the midway of the bull market, I can do a very crazy giveaway for you guys. Mr. Beast level giveaway. A movie called The Man Who Sued God is a great movie. I'll check it out. Hopefully it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something. I need stuff to watch just to kind of have on in the background. Nothing like mutually assured destruction as a stalemate. Bitbird, bye. Bye-bye. Love you guys. And I got Peruvian Crypto's Discord message. I'll definitely respond to that right after this live stream. I do appreciate it. Crypto Addicted Snarf, love you, Kite. Thank you, man. I love you too, buddy. Edward, be safe, Kite. As always, man, I will. You too. No to the TikTok mind. See you in the next one. Why is there a question mark? Of course you will. Absolutely. We'll be looking for Friday, probably 12 p.m. as well. But you never know. Always look out for me around 6 p.m. That's the guaranteed time. Cheers, Kite. Been fun? Absolutely, man. Would you modify your DNA? And I would only modify my DNA in ways that would make sense. I don't think I would modify my DNA to like make my children these behemoths of humans. But, modifying your DNA to get rid of, hereditary cancer or, hereditary diseases. Maybe you got the disease. Maybe you got glaucoma. Maybe you got Fuchs. But modifying your DNA so your kids won't, I think that's a courageous thing to do. Let's see. Great stream today, Kite. I enjoyed all of this philosophical and psychedelic conversation. Stay healthy. Absolutely, man. Josh, thank you very much, man. You guys know me. I'm a surprise. Always got something to talk about. Keep up to date, man. A lot of these altcoins, we talked about some of the major ones. So if you guys did miss the beginning of the live stream, we went over pretty much all of these altcoins. And I'll flash this on the screen one more time. Make sure you guys, take a screenshot of this. If you guys are on Windows, you guys can hit Shift Windows key S and then take a screenshot of this. This is every single coin on Coinbase that I could do a competent TA on. I know it's a little bit messy. So the MR stands for major resistances, and then the spread between the two that are coming up. The big players are definitely going to be CVC, Dash, and DNT, as well as Zcash that we just found out from the technical analysis we did on the live stream. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. As always, I love you. Thank you very much. And I'll see you on Friday. If anything major happens, I always say this every single time, but nothing really does happen. If everything major happens, we might hop on live stream for maybe 30 minutes tomorrow, or maybe even an hour, if anything, continues to happen. But yeah, I love you. The goodbye is always the weird part because I feel like there's always something else to say. But with that being said, I guess this is the end. I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye, guys. Where's the button? Goodbye.
Yeah, you wasting your time, there you go wasting your life. But I could see it vivid in my
They say that money don't buy happiness, just beautiful things. But I wouldn't mind the extra time and peace of mind that it brings. I wouldn't mind if I could afford AC in the spring, or for the heat in the winter, not being bitter, but they live like kings. And here we are in one bedroom we can barely afford, hanging sheets up on the walls just to mimic the doors. Can barely afford to pay for a Ford while you pay for your Porsche. See where I'm from, nobody makes it to Forbes, and I'm so tired of this dead-end job. While I was working last night, my fucking car got robbed. There's glass everywhere, I'm searching for the things I lost, all the things I bought. You steal from me just to cut your cost. My mom's worked the whole life just to give me a life to live, so I spill my fucking soul and give everything I can give. I think we can agree that Sally Mae is a bitch, and there's gotta be more to life than this. Why do you let us
hurt one another just for the dollar? Did you lose your heart in the darkness deep in your pocket? No, I don't care of the price I pay. I don't wanna spend my life that way. Tell me, is the pain that you're causing worth what you profit?
Yeah, another day, another bill. Lately hating how I feel. Need a tax refund just to buy a fucking meal. Your follows on your socials essential for signing deals. Man, it's crazy how a fake affects a room full of real. My boss told me turn tables. I told him tables will turn when I'm laughing at what I make in a day is more than you earn. The way to start to laugh, like to mention that is absurd, but they never focus their vision. Their vision focus is blurred, and they think I'm out of my mind or ahead of my time, or I'm the one that grinds and puts himself on the line. To learn how to win, you have to lose 100 times. Honestly, I think that losing is better than not trying. They say, make money, don't let the money make you. The question is, what if it's the only thing to save you? Would you sell your soul for a price if they paid you, or would you keep it real and stay you? Why do you let us
hurt one another just for the dollar? Did you lose your heart in the darkness deep in your pocket? No, I don't care of the price I pay. I don't wanna spend my life that way. Tell me, is the pain that you're causing worth what you profit?
Yeah, I know that money don't buy happiness, but buys you more material shit. Been reworking how I think and what it means to be rich. I used to think it meant to flex, a Rolex on my wrist. Feels bad to take more than you give. Lately hate how we live. I never wanna become the things that I hate. With a man in the mirror with laugh and spit in my face, and tell me that the money is maybe another fake. I've been drowning in my mind and my money's been at it. Wait, oh Lord, please save me. I should've known that something man-made couldn't make me. I say I'm making music, or is music what creates me? I never have an answer, same question every day. See, when we pass on, all our things are passed on to the next. Everything we didn't do is everything we regret. Every day we fucking work for this worthless check. If you're not happy, you're forever in debt. You're forever in debt. Fuck it. Another day, another night, another fucking battle in my mind. A lot of love, a lot of hate, a lot who wanna see me unwind. Feel alone, all alone. Now get your shit together's what I'm told. Been feeling low, super low, and they won't even care till I'm gone. Used to dream of the top and nightmares at the bottom. Till I realize at the bottom is the top. I'm forgotten, pray I don't fall like autumn. When you feel more like a product than a person, there's a problem, babe. Feeling so low, I don't want no one to know. I just need something to cope, leave me alone. Told them I'll leave me alone, then wonder where did they go? Been here before, push away people I love, just so they never get close. End of my rope, I don't think anyone care. Maybe they will when I go, maybe they'll talk about me on the internet. They never care, only care when they benefit. Introvert, honestly, out of my element. Yeah. Still, I'm afraid of becoming irrelevant. Oh, yeah. pay attention to the ones who don't clap when you win. If they lie to you once and they'll do it again, knew the hurt would come back and just didn't know when. And the night of the crash, I thought it was the end. All it takes is a moment to alter a life, and I thought about that for the rest of the night. Am I making a difference with things that I write? Just a human, you don't know the demons I fight. So another day, another night, another fucking battle in my mind. A lot of love, a lot of hate, a lot who wanna see me unwind. I feel alone, all alone. Now get your shit together is what I'm told. Been feeling low, super low, and they won't even care till I'm gone. You say I'm the worst, they say I'm the best, but call me tonight when you get off of work. Got things on my chest, I've been feeling bad for the feelings I have. I know that I'm blessed, been learning that money just isn't the cure for feeling depressed. I know I digress, I've been a mess. Honestly, I've been a mess. Hate what I think in my head, act like a friend. And when I need you the most, that's when you leave me on red. Have to pretend, always just have to pretend like I don't care what it said. Stuck in my head, plenty of things I could do. I just go lay in my bed, damn. Don't really know why I'm feeling so low. Where do you go when there's nowhere to go? They talking, I know they don't know. But it's like when your heart becomes empty and cold. How do I know what's real when my mind questions all I know? How do I save myself from myself when I'm feeling low? How do I flip the page if I'm stuck reading what I wrote? Why do I always drown in my thoughts? Need to learn to flow. Another day, another night, another fucking battle in my mind. A lot of love, a lot of hate, a lot who wanna see me unwind. I feel alone, all alone. Now get your shit together is what I'm told. Been feeling low, super low, and they won't even care till I'm gone. I know I need to learn to live with all the things I can't change. I hate the fact that I feel nothing or I'm reeling in pain. I need to shake this fucking habit, so I try but I can't. And I look down on other addicts when we're one and the same. Remember back, I'm pushing 20, those were simpler times. That's when we met, and ever since you never far from my mind. I broke my ankle playing ball, and so it's you I'm prescribed. And even through all of the pain, you make me feel I could fly. A couple weeks and now you're gone, and now I'm feeling the stress. I always wanted to feel something, maybe nothing is best. My friends and family started questioning if I'm feeling depressed, but I don't really give a damn, just put me back on the meds. I've been lost in my head. My homie Jack said he dealt with the same shit. Floating in my spaceship, the view out the window looks way sick, a colorful oasis. I'm low on rocket fuel and I don't wanna waste it, so I shut the engine off and bump my favorite playlist. A mix of Cuddy and a little hippie sabotage, make me feel like the pain was just a bad mirage. People look past me like I'm camouflage. At this point I might as well believe in Santa Claus. I used to get so stressed and depressed at the family function, feeling like a guest, but the solution wasn't really too complex. If your soul ain't on fire, move to the next. So here I am, goofy giggle and a slight lisp. I put both the bros right above my right wrist, cause they remind me that I know how to laugh, and I sure need a little bit of that when my head gets loud. Trying to turn it down some, let the bass please, so I can drown it out like boom, boom, boom. So much love in my bones, but the world might never know, cause my head gets loud. Trying to turn it down some, let the bass please, so I can drown it out like boom, boom, boom. So much love in my bones, but the world might never know, cause my head gets. Only so much time in this universe of mine. Looking in the mirror like you deserve to shine. Who you wanna be, it's up to you, it's your design. Or you could wait for help and fall another year behind. This
distance from the discipline is dangerous. Sitting with the pain, just listening to rain drip. Superpowers, I know how to make the brain flip and turn anguish into whatever the gang wish. What you need, I got it. If I don't, I get it. Anything you ask, I have never known the limit. My soul is vivid, my heart is gold. I tried it the harder road and dealt with the largest lows. It's all worth it. I'm not perfect, but I'm pure. I like the way these colors look, I don't want a cure. And right now I'm relaxed, but I thought that I would make this track, so later on I can listen back when my head gets loud. Trying to turn it down some, let the bass bleed, so I can drown it out like boom, boom, boom. So much love in my bones, but the world might never know, cause my head gets loud. Trying to turn it down some, let the bass bleed, so I can drown it out like boom, boom, boom. So much love in my bones, but the world might never know, cause my head gets loud. Trying to turn it down some, let the bass bleed, so I can drown it out like boom, boom, boom. So much love in my bones, but the world might never know, cause my head gets loud. Trying to turn it down some, let the bass bleed, so I could drown it out like boom, boom, boom. So much love in my bones, but the world might never know. I've been down and I've been out, but hey, that's alright, alright, hey, hey. I don't know if tomorrow's gonna come, but hey, that's alright, alright, hey, hey, hey. But just to make sure that it does, I'ma stay up all night, hey, hey, hey. Cause in this moment nothing's wrong, everything is alright, hey, hey. Hey. I've been dealing with such stress, obsessed with success, never get to enjoy the moment. I'm always planning for what's next, having trouble breathing slow, trying to be some CEO. Everything is so robotic, I feel like I'm C-3PO, eyes glued to my CPU. Order life through UPS, we never laugh, we LOL and we never talk, we only text. They say the best things are free in life, thinking about it I think they're right, but it's hard to focus under this hypnosis of flashing ads and blinking lights. So hard to keep a sober mind, waking up feeling so behind, placing blame on other people for taking up my only time. I just need to breathe, fresh air, I need the breeze. 3 days straight I've been awake, let me drift away, I need the Z's. I've been down and I've been out, but hey, that's alright, alright, hey, hey. I don't know if tomorrow's gonna come, but hey, that's alright, alright, hey, hey. Hey, but just to make sure that it does, I'ma stay up all night, hey, hey, hey. Cause in this moment nothing's wrong, everything is alright, hey, hey, hey. On second thought, I'ma stay awake, I don't think that I'ma go to bed, not because I got work to do, I just rather feel the wind blow instead. Rather watch these cars pass underneath these starlights, rather think about what's good than reflect on all of these hard times. Yeah, I know I'm naive, but if I'm happy here, then why leave? No need to answer that, I think it's pretty IV. Love is what I do it for, like Roman numeral IV. Spread around everywhere I go, let it grow like ivy. Otherwise I'll be old and gray, hooked up to some IVs, talking about how I should have lived instead of switching up with society. Shit gets tiring, but I gotta be the change. Little things keep passing by, gotta stop and see them things, yeah, yeah. I've been down and I've been out, but hey, that's alright, alright, hey, hey. I don't know if tomorrow's gonna come, but hey, that's alright, alright, hey, hey, hey. But just to make sure that it does, I'ma stay up all night, hey, hey, hey. Cause in this moment nothing's wrong, everything is alright, hey, hey, hey. Nobody sticks together. No one believes traditions. People leave and quit, and now I never see persistence. I see the good, the bad, and people who don't see the difference. I do not wish to be like you, so we should keep some distance. Cause see, for instance, love should be just instant. Even infants comprehend it. Tell me why you preach against it. Oh, you too egotistic to even seek assistance. Well, if you can't be consistent, you might as well cease existence. I was raised by a queen, but she worked like a slave. And yeah, she taught me to mean every word that I say. Taught me to treat people right, cause I deserved what I gave. Now I want nothing but perfect in every verse that I lay. My mama did some things for money, yeah, so what if she did? She did what she had to do, so we had a place to live. She put food up on the table, so we had a grace to give. Yeah, them bands will make her dance, cause them bands will feed the kids. And I ain't ashamed of that, not ashamed of that. I repeat myself, I bring it back. I can lie to you and try to hide the truth, but tell me what part of the game is that? No, I came to work, I came to work. I run that game till my ankles hurt. She the reason I stand tall today. Damn right, I give thanks to her. No, I don't know just where I'm gonna be or what I'm gonna be doing in another year or 3. All I know is I'll be far from where I'm at. Gonna live to be a legend, yeah, I'm down to die for that. I don't know just where I'm gonna be or what I'm gonna be doing in another year or 3. All I know is I'll be far from where I'm at. Gonna live to be a legend, yeah, I'm down to die for that. I see you try to fit in, I see the separation. I've heard about your dreams, I see no preparation. You talk about success like it's just a destination. Wishing every day for something doesn't count as dedication. Dedicated to you basic-headed bougie bitches. Head too high to smell the roses, nails too clean to do the dishes. I used to holler, but you acted way too cool to listen. Now I get to taste revenge, I swear this shit is too delicious. Now I'm elevated, you still get hella faded. Your life is not progressing, but yet you celebrate it. Still live that same life, still getting medicated. Still living day to day like nothing's premeditated. Like you the baddest with your eyes low, tripping with a child at home, sitting while you styrofoam, sipping, coming home with strange men. Why he lie alone and listen and wake up and go to work and deny his whole existence? Shit, where the dreams at? That's where my team's at. And we gonna change the world, yeah, I really mean that. So, until then you can find me in my zone, and that's where I stay, even if it means I die alone. I don't know just where I'm gonna be or what I'm gonna be doing in another year or 3. All I know is I'll be far from where I'm at. Gonna live to be a legend, yeah, I'm down to die for that. I don't know just where I'm gonna be or what I'm gonna be doing in another year or 3. All I know is I'll be far from where I'm at. Gonna live to be a legend, yeah, I'm down to die for that. joy, spread wealth, spend some time on your health. Do the work, you piece of shit. Keep it up and never quit. Do the work, you piece of shit. Keep it up and never quit. Do the work, you piece of shit. Keep it up and never quit. Do the work, you piece of shit. Keep it up and never quit. Alright, dog. It's time to put in some work. No more excuses. No more pump faking. You can do this. It's the hardest part. You gotta get down and start working. Shut the fuck up.
Last night, all I think about is you. Don't stop, baby, you can walk too. Don't want, baby, think about you. You know that I'm never gonna lose.
Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Usually I put something on TV, so we never think about you and me. But today I see our reflections clearly in Hollywood, laying on the screen. You just need a better life than this. You need something I can never give. Fake water all across the road. It's gone now, the night is come. But sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. You can't fight it, you can't breathe. You say something so loving, but now I gotta let you go. You'll be better off in someone new. I don't wanna be alone. You know it hurts me too. You look so broken when you cry. One more and then I say goodbye. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. I just wonder what you're dreaming of when you sleep and smile so comfortable. I just wish that I could give you that bad look that's perfectly unsaid. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Heat waves been faking me out. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now. Sometimes all I think about is you. Late nights in the middle of June. Heat waves been faking me out. Can't make you happier now.
bugs him along. See, as soon as I got to the hospital, the nurses told me I'm lucky to be alive. 3 weeks later, I get a blood clot in my chest. The shit nearly killed me. And now I'm back. They don't call me the king of the north for nothing. Watch this. Alright, so mommy used to sell herself. Drop a couple rocks into a pipe and light it up. Think I didn't come from hell. My old bestie said my head's gone, it must be mental health. But I got killers in my family, in case you couldn't tell. And I didn't wanna see them niggas, so I got it hella stealth. And when I saw those idiots, I told them by myself that I don't fear nobody. I've still got ops that want me bodied, but them man are still living in a cell. And if I have to go back there, I swear I'm going in. I pray a lot these days in case I have to sin. I tell them till my mouth goes dry and I need a drink. I sleep well these days, I never miss a wink. And no, I didn't catch the virus, still this pain in my chest. A court case coming, fuck fame for a sec. I'm gonna have to stand and take judgment again, but I can look him in his eye. I have my baby to protect. Couple things I never said out loud, I've just been living with it. I gotta speak hard, though it's fucking with my spirit. A school tie around my neck and hanging from the ceiling. He burst into the room, I was embarrassed when he see me, so I put it to my wrist and yeah, I slit it. Didn't cut it deep, though I gotta say I shit it. Her mummy was a nitty, but when I heard she turned one of her customers into my dad, I gotta say I really nearly did it. But I told myself I would never do anything silly. I told myself I'd take it out on niggas that fuck with me, and that's why I never lost, and that's why I'm a boss, and that's why I was the first one to rep my city. I got fake friends talking like I don't show intelligence, like I didn't demonstrate due diligence. Man telling me about my residence, like I couldn't give a green light and leave no evidence. Place in the Louis, waves under the Dewey, skeleton Kite, so I can see through it. See these levels to this British shit, and me, I'm top tier. Any talk of me not being a legend stops here. When the car pulled out, I knew that we was crashing, and at the point my life was meant to start flashing, I just blacked out. Woke up on the concrete with feathers everywhere. The Montclair was ragged out, me, I had it mapped out. Now I got bleeding on the brain, the same shit that killed my cousin. Yeah, I swear I miss Dane. Couple niggas turned out to be fake, but I'm too rich to argue these days, so I just give it space. On the hospital bed, the morphine on me tripping, giggling at nothing, into reminiscing. Crashed doing 70 without wearing a helmet. Believing God or not, there's no denying a blessing. I was on the ward, slowly healing. Lay on the bed and my chest was beating. The blood clot passed through my heart and into my lungs, and the pain was a deeper feeling. I shouted for the nurse, I could feel myself leaking with a face full of sweat. Could barely catch my breath, even though I knew I was hanging by a thread. I told the nurse that there's no way I'm dying on this bed, fuck that. Now I'm supposed to feel weak. For some reason, though, I feel like a Wolverine. Like I smashed the side of the car up with my physique and left a big boy dent in the concrete. He put me in the newspapers and magazines. You better recognize a legend when you catch a sneak peek. It's not the first time I shed blood out on the street, but the way they taped it off, it was like a murder scene, Fucking bugs him alone. 2020. The fucking resurrection. Yeah.
If you wanna know something about me, the blood in my veins is full of northern grit. I got that northern soul, man, I got bags of it. We're far from ordinary people. And if you wanna know something about us, the hearts in our chests are full of northern love. And even when we're broke, we'll always have enough. We're far from ordinary people.
Yo.
We're far from ordinary.
Alright, how can I say this? I'm from a place where no one expects us to make it. There was the Stone Roses and Oasis, but when they were big, we were still babies. I'm talking to the new generation, and we wasn't born in the 80s. They say that we don't see many places, cause nobody's left there for ages. Serious love for the people that raised us, even though it got crazy. Poverty stricken, but that never fazed us. Not one of us lazy. And I'll be the first to say money don't change us. Well, it didn't change me. I'll never forget where I came from, that's cause it's the struggle that saved me. On the streets we got brought up, and we'd play on the grass cause we're trying to be pro footballers. They say there's no kings out here, nobody's got money, every one of us paupers. I beg to differ, cause I see the bigger picture. Every one of us kings, we could live on the street and make it a castle. Fuck what they call us. You can keep throwing out orders. In fact, bring cameras and record us. We've been fighting for survival, and you're gonna learn what war does. Why did he call it an army? That's cause he's filled with souls. A war going on outside in his life. You can keep the revolvers. If you wanna know something about me, the blood in my veins is full of northern grit. I got that northern soul, man, I got bags of it. We're far from ordinary people. If you wanna know something about us, the hearts in our chests are full of northern love. And even when we're broke, we'll always have enough. We're far from ordinary people. We're far from ordinary. Okay, what did he expect? They expect us to fail this test. They think we're broken, we're not blessed. Like we're gonna watch our parents stress. No chance, and more time our parents are broken up anyway. There's no romance, and the car's been sold, and that's cause there's no keeping up with their finance. What did he want us to do? Skip down the road to the job centre and just hold hands? It's not easy out here. Depression's a killer, especially when you've got no plan. So much pain on a daily basis. Would you not grab the painkiller with both hands? It's a shame the painkiller's weed and liquor, strong enough to wipe out the whole gang. If I'm being brutally honest, I don't condone it, but I understand the stealing and the violence. Yeah, man, run when you hear the sirens. No comment, leave the room in silence. That's the same boy whose mum got treated bad in the job centre on Friday. Dad don't care, so he lacks the guidance. It's a shame that the streets are evil, but that's just where we grown up. Not everything was legal, but that's where we learned to be tough. Most people grind to a halt like a car with no petrol or no diesel, but we keep it moving round there, cause we're far from ordinary people. If you wanna know something about me, the blood in my veins is full of northern grit. I got that northern soul, man, I got bags of it. We're far from ordinary people. If you wanna know something about us, the hearts in our chests are full of northern love. Even when we're broke, we'll always have enough. We're far from ordinary people. I see the raindrops falling again. We look up to greet the heavens. Who cares if we had harsh beginnings? We look onwards. If you wanna know something about me, the blood in my veins is full of northern grit. I got that northern soul, man, I got bags of it. We're far from ordinary people. And if you wanna know something about us, the hearts in our chests are full of northern love. And even when we're broke, we'll always have enough. We're far from ordinary people. We're far from ordinary. We're far from ordinary.
You know, things will go back to semi-normal at some point in life, and eventually I'll finish this 50 States tour.
We're finishing it?
No, I'm just kidding.
What would you like to do? We got all day to chill. We could watch all 3 volumes of Kill Bill. Got HBO Max, Netflix.
It's a feeling that I can't put my finger on. I make my decisions like I'm not gonna be here long. People tried to show me signs, I just always read them wrong. Sorry if I ever hurt you, swear I didn't mean no harm. Head full of worries and the wind in my face. The only time I feel at peace is when I pick up the pace. There ain't no substitute for it when I crave a release. The pills only make it worse and liquor just make me sleep. I gotta go, I gotta run and put some distance between us. I know one day I'ma turn them all into believers, make them switch their demeanors once they finally get it. I would love to explain it, but I'm fading, I'm afraid I gotta. I've spent a lifetime living on it. Don't know how to stop it when the tears start to. I do not feel like I belong, so I'd rather be anywhere but here, so I've spent a lifetime living on it. Don't know how to stop it when the tears start to. I do not feel like I belong, so I'd I'd rather be anywhere but here. Something isn't right, I can hear the inner me, but my shell is doing well, so nobody intervenes. Combos feel like interviews, I get through by any means. Mirror on my face, I'm just displaying what you give to me. Every day I fantasize of burning it all, go somewhere where I would never be a burden at all. Take every penny that I ever earned and give it away. Disconnect the telephone and disappear in a day. They say the truth will set you free, and I think of it so often. It's so nice of you to notice, but there's no use in talking, cause I hear what you're saying, but none of it is staying. I do appreciate it, but I'm fading, I'm afraid I gotta. I've spent a lifetime living on it. Don't know how to stop it when the tears start to. I do not feel like I belong, so I'd rather be anywhere but here, so I've spent a lifetime living on it. Don't know how to stop it when the tears start to. I do not feel like I belong, so I'd rather be anywhere but here.